Warning: this video contains an excessive amount of yapping. There will be quite a large amount of pausing, conversational topics, and worst of all, tangentially related conversational matters. If you are not a fan of yapping, you've come to the wrong place. Bonjour, mes amis. Bienvenue dans ce nouvel interview, Le Vampire Lestat, or bienvenue dans ce nouvel Le Vampire Lestat de Lianquio. Merci d'avoir regardé. We are back with another episode of The Vampire Lestat, and hopefully, I ran a test before this, and I've been recording in the days prior to this. Everything should be back to normal and fine, operationally speaking. I'm pretty sure that if I pull up one of my recording bits on the side, there's nothing lagging or being indicative. I just recorded something like as a test sample, so we should be okay. Long story short, it was an issue I had with the... I had been previously experimenting with OBS, the software that I was using to record, and I had some of the settings for the encode, I had some of the settings set too high for capture, so I was overtaxing the encoder in my computer. Also, energy is going to be a bit lower today. I went a little bit too hard at the club last night, and I've been recovering for most of the morning. And normally, I might be a little hungover or something. I might be fine, but I guess I was really cutting up a rug at the dance floor. The Lestat was throwing on a hell of a show, hell of a party, and he didn't drain me, which is unfortunate, because if he had, or take a sip at least, if he had sipped maybe some of the alcohol from my system. Anyway, so a little bit lower energy. The migraine or the headache that I had is kind of gone for the most part, but I do have I got some food in me, but I do have a little bit of residual nausea, but hopefully this will revitalize me. Here is the tricky part, though. So I appreciate, for one, everybody's patience with the last episode and the technical issues. And again, shout out to my editors for helping to fix that. I think there's a lot of appreciation expressed in Patreon and even a little bit on the YouTubes as well. Here's the thing. So I know everybody wants me to do long episodes, but there were some things pointed out to me, and I want to take feedback into consideration. This is not me folding under pressure or trying to change fundamentally how I do this. I know that long episodes are nice and all. However, there was feedback, and this is something that when I get too excited, this happens, and I admit it, and nobody was mean about it. People pointed it out. But I get really excited when I start really going and getting into it, and I have a habit of then really doing a lot of pausing during some scenes, and I'll ask a question that's immediately answered, possibly even seconds later. Now, I try to let scenes play out, but with a show this dense, the issue that lies therein is that people want to get my input from the episode from moment to moment, and sometimes if I don't pause and speak on what I'm feeling or thinking, then poof, it might vamoose from the old conquer up here. So I'm always paranoid that I'll forget what I'm going to say, and then I try to pause a lot as well to take notes. And because it's funny, because if I don't pause, people will get upset because they're like, oh, you're missing dialogue, you're skipping this and that. Then if I do pause and talk and ask questions, some people are like, hey, you're asking these questions and they're about to be answered for you. It does get it feels a little bit egregious, and I want to, it's the art of being a reactor, especially an analytical one, is finding that balance. So I'm going to be making a concerted effort to try to find more of a balance there. Also, I have been warned, and it is a warning that I don't want to take lightly. It started as a comment or two, and now literally several people have reached out to me directly, and also put in the comments. I am being warned up and down the boulevard to not really read comments right now, and at the very least, I've been given I've had people not moderating so much as literally going through all the comments and sending me a list of ones to avoid. Just helpful, mind you, not like a blacklist or anything. It's just it seems like right now, even though I haven't hit any landmines just yet, I would like to err on the side of caution. And it appears YouTube is kind of a veritable minefield in its own right, a battleground, if you will. And though nobody has poo-pooed on the parade just yet, I don't want to risk it. Patreon, I'm gonna dip lightly into comments, just some of the first few. And it's not that I don't want to do community engagement, because I certainly do, but at this point it's been requested that I almost don't. But I'm going to go to the last video, episode 3-5. So I can do some comments here. Gemma says, dude, if you go back and rewatch seasons 1 and 2 with the Devil's Minion lens, paying attention to the way Armand looks at Daniel is crazy. Like, Lestat has been playing Armand as if he was in love with Daniel since the beginning of the show. It's an absolutely generational performance, which makes me even more curious to go back. And people have, I think there's at least one person in the Patreon chat that it's like, hey, MovieMan, what if you did a third watch through of the show? I mean, if the interest is genuinely there, I would not be opposed to doing a solo third rewatch to be able to go through and like with a 3 seasons in perspective and lens. I just don't want to be, talk about egregious. I just don't want to milk it, But if people want that and think that I could legitimately extrapolate even more. We're not going to go into Amel. I've heard Amel, but it's a spoiler. Valerie says, your editors did such a great job working around the pausing. Thank you, editors. Yes, thank you so much. I expressed immense gratitude to them. They came in clutch and definitely helped to fix the mess that it was. And hopefully they'll not have to deal with something that catastrophic again. Also says, joke's on you. I love podcasts. I had some confusion regarding what Marius was saying about the moonlight and all that. Honeytail Badger, I think, clarifies what Marius was referring to by remember a night when your body burned under the moon is that he screwed up and left Enkil above in the sun, and Enkil burned, which then burned all other vampires around the world. The moon itself is not the reason they burned. He was just pointing out the impossibility of it to Lestat to then explain it happened because of Enkil. I see. Oh, and remember when you burned under the... Oh, okay, right, because they were... Now it makes more sense. So Marius was saying, even though it happened around the world and it was night where you were, because Enkil burned outside after I drunkenly failed in my task, which is ironic how Marius, quite the hypocrite in his own right, to have made such an egregious mistake that almost caused, like, mass extinction of their the race of their creatures and all that, and what in himself was a failure in that moment. And then Lestat, who's even like more ill prepared, like even less prepared, he has the audacity to be like, you what have you done, and like just be like fail and just like the Mummy, that scene in the Mummy when the mouth opens up and Imhotep is like, it's just he cracks me up, man. So that makes sense then. So that's why that's why he burned under the moon, is that it was a clever way in the writing that just went over my head, talking about how it happened around the world. Joke's on you, I love podcasts. I'm glad people still appreciated the audio commentary of it all, considering the magnitude of the episode. Again, I'm just paranoid now because all the settings should be fine, and I keep checking everything looks like it's okay. But man, I'm so paranoid I might even just like stop the recording halfway through to make sure we're good. But I think we're gonna be okay. Sam says, remember Gabriella left Lestat on the beach after they killed the lighthouse keeper and the sailors wrecked. These are the seamen he buried himself with. Vampires would burn under the moon if either Akasha or Enkil is left in the sun. When Marius forgot him in the sun, Enkil burned and all vampires burned wherever they were, even if it was nighttime, different time zones. P.S. All vampires become more still and stone as they age. It's not because they get burned in the moon. Is that right? Marius is very active, but a conscious acting decision and characterization of Armand and Assad and director on the show, Levon Aiken, made was that Armand doesn't blink at a normal frequency, and he also barely moves when he's sitting. He's obviously very far from turning into stone, but more lethargic than a human or young vampire. I see. Also, glad you noted that Marius's assholery with the interruptions, the 15-minute training session, and anger at the intern inherently messing up after being thrown in the deep end. Oh yeah, for sure. MovieMan wishing for more of the band while I'm praying for so much less so we can get more flashbacks. Why not both? Why can't we have more of the band and more flashbacks? Those were my complaints so far. I'm glad we got more of the band in the present, but I was really hoping to get more in the way of like young Lestat and more Nikki, and now, I mean, Marius, if that's all we get of Marius, which the implication is that that's not the case, but If that is all we get of Marius, I mean, I wouldn't be too upset because it seems fitting. But at the very least, I thought we'd get like Magnus, outside of the flashbacks and the Taylor Swift backing tracks and all that, or Taylor Swift-esque rather. Claire Punk says just some non-spoilery, based on show-only info clarifications. So Magnus is not a direct descendant of Akasha. He was described as powerful, but there was nothing in the show that alluded to any further connection there. When Lestat is chosen to be the keeper, he has as much blood of Akasha in him as any other vampire walking around, as all vampires do have her blood, but in a diluted form. Akasha chose Lestat and deemed him worthy for other reasons that are up to you to speculate on. Lestat just has a way about him, doesn't he just? So whenever Lestat says he has the blood of Akasha in him, blood of Akasha, he's just referencing the events in this episode when he was keeper and they drank from each other. Nothing before. When he was keeper, he got her blood directly from the source, direct and undiluted, and then became like, so, it's like Popeye and the spinach, huh? And as other people have explained, vampires didn't all burn because of the moon. Nothing has to do with the moon. Okay, so that was just me misunderstanding, essentially. They simply burned all around the earth concurrently as Enkill was burning in the sun, which, depending on their location or time zone, would have been it. So the curious thing is, because he said she is the seed, so if Akasha burns, everybody burns. Is it the same thing with Enkill? Is it like the Adam and Eve of the vampire worlds? If you kind of, I don't know, subscribe to that ideology where it's like, do they both have to burn, or is it if either of them burn, then they all burn? Also, this burning has little to do with them becoming being stone, as Marius says when he's come back to the crypt and is yelling at Lestat about how hard it will be to put her back to sleep. He says Akasha has been on the slab for centuries, which would have to be far longer ago than that night of burning, which they say happened in 1802, and Lestat was keeper until 1900. Also, remember what Lestat says when he's in contemplating or stir crazy. He asks Akasha, is this what time yields on us? And if he too, over time, will bloodlessly bloom into a husk. But as a side note, speaking of the consequences of the burning, I don't know if we're supposed to know exactly how alive, damaged, dead, conscious, Enkill is at all at this point from being burned. To me, that part was sort of ambiguous. He looked pretty messed up and never spoke telepathically. Your guess is as good as mine. Yeah, his head was like in pieces and no signs of healing. Although I don't know if Lestat was also ashing him up or not. I felt like Akasha for sure. I think he was ashing up both of them maybe? Or maybe they were just keeping Enkill. Those must be kept. And a further clarification of timeline, Lestat goes underground after the events we see at the end of the flashback in episode 4, right after Gabriella leaves him on the beach with the shipwreck. Hence him being in a grave with the seaman he killed. I see. And so the flashbacks are also kind of playing out in a very linear progression, aside from maybe some other little offshoots here and there. In prior episodes and seasons, we have heard that he went underground for nearly a century because of Nikki, but as he had always kept his mother a secret, we never learned until now that it was Gabriella's leaving that finally made him go underground. I imagine the grief over Nikki played a part in it, but Gabriella leaving was the last straw. I've read the books, but everything I've clarified here comes directly from what the show has told us, I appreciate that. Especially since the show is so different, and I've seen these episodes probably 5 times over to catch all the details. As you've expressed yourself, the amount of quick detail in the writing is a double-edged sword. I hope I don't come off as condescending. Oh, not at all condescending. No, I appreciate the clarification. I just want to clear some things up. No overstepping at all. Like I say, the way you approach it, at least, the way most people approach it, is always very constructive and informative. Insofar as it's information presented to, I literally open the door to it. At the end of every episode, I say, hey, if I missed anything, if I misunderstood something, if anybody thinks I need clarification or some better information, then by all means step in and say something. So as long as nobody's mean when they do it, that's where I draw the line. When people come in, they're like, you idiot, how the hell did you not notice this? What are you, not paying attention? You're stupid. The way you're doing this is so asinine anyway, but I'm still watching for some reason. Like that's when it's a little bit much, when people start like getting mean. Like mean is the meanness is where I just like will delete and say we don't need that kind of vibe here. But if anybody wants to like tell me or even be a little bit like funny about it or poke fun at me or like anything like that, like we can have good fun and a good time. And even if I'm dead wrong about something, I don't want people to be like, oh, you sweet summer child, he doesn't know, but I guess I don't want to like reinform him. Like, no, please do. Melissa says Marius asks Akasha Marius says Akasha asked him to find Lestat specifically. The blue eyes was a description she gave of him, and also that he loves his mother as a reason she wanted him. He does not have her blood in him as in drinking from her when he becomes her keeper. Okay, more appreciation. Wendy Lou, who says you have now met the Gremlin. So I have. I feel like I met the Gremlin even before New York, but that's just me. Also, Sam Reed made his professional stage debut in 2011 playing the role of Soranzo in a revival of the 17th century tragic play "'Tis Pity She..." Oh, I see. So that's another little deeper cut reference to the actor Sam Reed. He's also doing a production of, what is it, Doubt? Or maybe they're calling it something else, but he's like the main accused religious figure in that stage play, but I heard he's doing that like a live show right now. He's on tour. Vaughn says, I'm sure your reaction to Madeline was all or at least most of us. Nope. Yeah, I got a real visceral reaction out of me for sure. Was not a fan of that. I get why it happened, but yeesh. Tony says, I really recommend listening to Lestat's song Big Bad Wolf in full. I did in the car on Spotify. I think it offers a lot of additional insights into his emotional and mental state. The lyrics are quite literal, and there's a sort of breakdown near the end. Yeah, when he says, I would never say those things to Claudia on the train. Like, he gets really emotional about it. I think he even calls Louis a jackal, I think. But he says, and I would never, ever say those things to Claudia on the train. I would never say that to Claudia. Like, he gets genuinely hurt by the notion of, like, having threatened Claudia in that sense. And he's like, I would never say those things to her, like, to my surrogate daughter over here. It's a shame most of the songs were barely in the episode, but I do appreciate Stained Glass Eyes in full. Yeah, I see what you mean. And just for reference, I can do a Big Bad Wolf Vampire Lestat lyrics. Let's see. I can be a real motherfucker. I'm a mess. Yeah, I'm a lot. Sometimes a monster, just like my father. A nasty temper. Yeah, I run hot. Oh, liar, liar, your skin's on fire. Who could he be talking to? How can I love you if you don't love yourself? Oof. I never meant to hurt you. Well, maybe a little. I think you wanted me to be someone else. But who's villain, sneaking up from behind with a knife in his hand and a mouthful of lies? The night's for sale, you sharpen your nails, you weep and you wail. Now I'm the big bad wolf in your fairy tale. You love the gossip, you tattle, all of your stories with their tiny holes. Odyssey recollection? Was it raining? Half the truth is worse than no truth at all. I'm an ex, not a devil, here to suck out your soul. And then by the end of it, this one goes out to all my broken-hearted beasties. Did you ever try to love someone who did not love you back? I know you know. You ever try to let someone back in after they came to you with a softening in their eyes and a grief in their heart? And you find out about a certain book, a salacious bestseller full of misremembered cobwebs. Effute absolute, connard. And then I'd write the fucking Wolverine blues. I never told you that. And that pleated skirt was a week-old rotten meat shade of chartreuse, not off-white. And I have scars on my chest. No mention of that. I'm not vampire Fabio. Stitch the initials on the backside of a ticket pocket. This is an insane person. And then people talked about this in the comments. I was Lelio, not Harley Quinn. And I would never say that about Claudia on the train. I would never ever say that, you cancerous jackal. And there you go. So, yeah. I'd say definitely very telling, but even more powerful when you're listening to it on the spoofy, on the Spotify. Shayna says, now this was another point of clarification I appreciate. When Lestat says he spent half of 2 decades in his coffin, which later got thrown off the balcony, I think he means that half the time during those 20 years, he was sleeping in Louis' coffin with him. And regarding any timeline confusion, the flashbacks are in chronological order. So Lestat's childhood, killing the wolves, moving to Paris, Magnus, everything with Nikki, Gabriella leaving him, Lestat buries himself in the ground, Marius digs him up 80 years later because Akasha has requested him. I think Akasha probably found Lestat telepathically while he was in his slumber. She read his mind and she took a liking to him. Because of his fondness for the matriarchy. I loved Akasha's introduction. She's absolutely perfect. I like the choice to keep Lestat there for 10 years as well. I think it actually makes more sense. It does. I think it adds more, again, just to, pile on one more traumatic event after another for him. But it would make sense for his mental state and for, like, it would be weird if after 2 days he's just like, you know what, here's a little bit of blood. No, he's been down there for like a decade, right? And it's like a New Year's. He's already kind of like off kilter. He's very lonely, losing his mind even more so. And just like, oh, a little tip for you of drink of my blood. Valerie says, I don't necessarily buy that Louis knows about Armand stalking Daniel. Not the full extent of it, at least. Like you said, Louis maybe only got part of the story. Probably, yeah. Vaughn says, MovieMan having to look up and learn about Milli Vanilli. Oh god, I'm old. To be fair, in my defense, it's not, there's plenty of, older things that I know of and I'm like more informed on, but specifically like the world of music, especially as I was growing up, I was much more of a movies and TV and video game kind of kid, and like books and all that. But if you bring me to trivia night and it's like a music, yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm sinking the ship. Like, it's the one thing I'm not very fluent in is like music trivia, groups, and like just general knowledge and all that. If they ever reference MC Hammer, he has to look him up. I know who MC Hammer is. Angry Green says, none of the burping. The burping is now a new feature. We must watch or listen. Anyway, I can't imagine how upset you probably were about this. Oh yeah, I was devastated. I had I don't know, not an anxiety attack, but like, you know, the chest, the stomach, the head, like it all, like it was the slow realization and going through all the stages of grief as I'm trying to like stop the recording and see about salvaging whatever I could. And then it also contributes to like, that means every reaction that I ever record, because I have these occasional tech issues, most of them end up going over okay, like they end up being fine. But I have post-traumatic stress about it. I have like anxiety from the trauma of like losing recordings. So always in the back of my head, I'm like, hey, like front of my head, I record. I'm like, yeah, awesome. I'm enjoying the show. Everything's fine. This is great. Back of my head's like, what if it doesn't record though? What if you forget a setting? What if this doesn't go through? What if this crashes or burns or breaks down? What if? And like, there's always that like anxiety in the back of my head where it's like, hey, it's happened before, it could happen again. And you know what? It probably will, but that's just the nature of the industry, right? Just a shame that it has to happen to like set like 2 out of 7 episodes, knock on wood, of like the most popular show on my channel, or one of the 3 most popular shows on my channel. But that's just my luck sometimes. Chicken and the egg, says Vaughn. How does it start? So many questions that are going to get spoiled by YouTube comments. I'm just not going to read them, hopefully. I'm glad. Oh, sorry. Back to Angry Green. I'm glad you managed to salvage the majority of it. Well done for persevering with it. I bet everyone's super appreciative of your efforts. I will be in another 3 weeks when I get around to watching it. Yeah. Well, are you? Correct me if I'm wrong, Angry. Are you the one who like can't watch these until a certain point because you're like, oh, I gotta wait until I can watch the show? Hypocritic says, so many questions you have to answer. Vampires. Oh yeah, the Moonlight bit, we had that clarified. I appreciate that. They are all connected to her. Lestat was chosen by Kasha for a reason. Direct blood. This leaves us with another question. How is it Armand can daywalk and not his maker, or in kill Akasha? Curious indeed, Armando, curious. Stone becoming... And yes, Marius calls her mother, but as he says, she has mother to all vampires. There you go. And yes, as a book reader, I loved her entrance and loving Shayla team. And yes, I know I said it earlier, but to be clear, Akasha chose Lestat, not Marius. She presumably told Marius telepathically to go find him. Why? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Oh, the subtitles. Oh, the subtitles were wrong, were they, in the episode? It's supposed to be, no one can keep my smile, but you can pull it off me like one of your souvenirs. Oh. Anything for Louis, says Yella. Anything for Louis. Oh, Lord. Oh, I see. Dr. Bailey says with Lestat grabbing his throat at the piano, he's just come from seeing Louis and Claudia, and they slit his throat. I think it's probably a trigger of seeing Louis, who has also just betrayed him by not calling back when he was shot. All right, well, I would dig more into the comments, but I don't want to get too involved. We're already a good 24 minutes in. It sucks because really, I did want to do... Oh, God, that's bright. I did want to do a video between this one and the next, like the finale, where I, like, go over user comments and the like. I wanted to, really. But I've been warned that it's not a good idea. So I still want to do audience engagement. Maybe I will afterwards. I'm also worried that there's like even further book spoilers or episode spoilers. Well, if there's book spoilers in the comments, that's one thing. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But anyway, so again, like I said, apologies if I'm a bit low energy for this one. I feel okay right now. I feel okay, not 100%. Like I said, like the nausea is kind of subsided. When I talk, it does vibrate my head, so like I don't have a migraine or anything, but there's some mild discomfort. But I am hydrating, so to be fair, it's my fault. Normally I hydrate more whenever I'm out drinking, but I guess last night I was just feeling myself too much, so zoinks, rut-row, jinkies. Thank you, guys and gals, so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for the continued love and support. There's whether you're lurking or listening to the whole thing or here to just to like drop a snide comment or something, whatever the case is. I appreciate it, I suppose. So if you're watching on Patreon, thank you so much for the additional layer of love and support. It means the absolute world to me as always. If you haven't joined but have been thinking about joining, now is always a good time. You will get early access to these episodes, usually about a day or two in advance. In this case, my editors are on a bit of a little vacay because they just happen to both be unavailable. And I think they're going to be, it was like the 10th to the 14th, I believe. So this might hit YouTube a few days later than it normally does, but rest assured it will hit YouTube. But yeah, you can catch it on Patreon, full, uncut, uncensored with HD video accompaniment. Plus, that gives you access, of course, to my entire content backlog and library, which includes the first 2 seasons of Interview with the Vampire, my gal pal watching the show as well, all the other shows and series that I've done reactions and analysis and commentary for. Couples commentary, Patreon exclusive shows, and on the higher tier, access to my live movie watch parties, which become movie commentary VODs afterwards. But of course, if you are just on YouTube, it's still more than enough. I appreciate it. All I ask is you like the video, comment down below for the almighty algorithm and engagement gods, and subscribe for more. Hit that bell, smash that like button, all that good stuff. We just recently did hit 10.7K. So thank you. We're getting closer and closer to 11,000 already after just hitting the big milestone of 10K. I do have kind of a surprise of sorts that I think I want to do, or that I said I would do at least at some point, that I'm kind of cooking up a fun little live stream idea. So for better or for worse, look out for that. And then I guess the last announcement I have is this will be the last chance between now and the finale. Last chance. If you want to win a copy of the Vampire Lestat, or season 3 of the show formerly known as the Vampire Lestat, now's your chance. I go on to Instagram if you want to follow me there. Had a lot of followers, like I said, show up recently, so appreciate the support there. There's a post that's about Vampire Lestat not too long ago. Make sure you like that post and make sure you're following the page. And even if you want to like unfollow the page afterwards, after you possibly win or we find out the answers and all that, I won't hold it against you, but follow, like the post, and then in next episode, before we begin the next episode, I will do a raffle where I take, and there's over like I think 70 people now. I will do a raffle with a random number generator, and I will be giving out. I was gonna do 1, but now I'm thinking about doing like 2 or 3. So I might do up to 3 copies or more. 3 copies maybe of. I might just do 3 copies of the Vampire Lestat in your choice of formats, whether that means you get it digitally or whether you help keep physical media alive and I buy you a Blu-ray copy of it once it's released in the near future. You make your pick, but this is the last chance to enter yourself into that raffle if you haven't already. Like the post, follow the page at MovieMan101 Pro, and you'll be all set. That being said, this is it, the penultimate episode, going to Montreal, where evidently Lestat and Louis hear some painful truths. I can't guarantee the length of this episode. I'm just going to get into a flow state, hopefully, and just keep doing my own thing here. As always, yeah, thanks for coming along for the ride. We're almost at the very end. It's come and gone. It's crazy how these, like, this is the 6th week, but like 6 weeks, over a month, it just flown by. But that's the nature of it. You start it and you're like, oh wow, we have a long road ahead of us, and then boom, here we are. So I'm not gonna do like a full recap or anything like that, but I will let it play out for the Patreons at home. Got my notes, my notepad here, and yeah, without further yapping or ado, I'm gonna try to maintain a healthy balance in this episode. I think after, oh God, excuse me. I think the fact that I'm not 100% right now might actually help me to like gather my thoughts slowly and like take it easy on the interruptions in this one. So let's get into Montreal, shall we? The giveaway, you still have a chance. If you haven't already, you still have a chance. I know there's several thousand of you that watch this, or at the very least are lurking and watching this, so I'm not kidding. If you want to win a copy of the 3rd season of Vampire Lestat, formerly known as Interview with the Vampire, then you still have a chance. There's a post on my Instagram at MovieMan101Pro. All you got to do is like the post and make sure you are following. I will be doing a drawing as well, like a live-ish drawing where I'll do a random number generator and have all the people that entered for a chance to win. I might even do more. I don't know how much it'll cost, but I'm like, fuck it. It's the least I can do to give back for all that's been given to me. So I'm probably gonna give away at least 3 copies of the Vampire Lestat as my way of showing thanks. So whether you want it digitally or whether you want to wait until the Blu-ray comes out, which it has to because the first 2 seasons have already had a Blu-ray, then enter for a chance to win a copy of Vampire Lestat. Like I said, I'll be giving at least 3 copies of the show away. I firmly believe. So there's people out there that can make kids disappear. Make children disappear just like that. So dramatic. So the fact the review says, "Oi, it's like Broadchurch, but darker." Like, that's...
Watch The Vampire Lestat After Dark on AMC Plus or wherever you get your...
You know I will.
You need to be a vampire to hear it.
We want it.
One thing I don't particularly love about... I don't mind previously on for shows, but I noticed this in especially like modern media. Some shows, and Vampire Lestat is guilty of this. They will, in the previously on, they will take scenes even from previous seasons or things that have happened a while ago, and you're like, why am I seeing this? And it's to basically say, like, give you a quick reminder, and then it's because it's gonna, some facet of that point is gonna be brought back up in the episode. And it's kind of a low-key spoiler. Luckily, I didn't put 2 and 2 together because in the last episode, they said previously on, and there was a scene of, like, Madeline. And I was like, oh, why do we have Madeline feature right there? We're just going to delve more into Regina's... It's going to inform Regina's performance more. And then all of a sudden, we had off-Broadway Madeline. And I was like, oh, I see. But shows sometimes do that where it's like, remember this thing that happened 3 seasons ago? Why do we bring it back up? No reason. I'm just like, all right, well.
What does he know about me?
Make more.
Fear above all else, and that is loneliness. You take this feeling away from me, Louis.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there. You take a scene from season 1 that's going to play into a conversation or moment from this season. So not a spoiler per se, but for those of us that like can read between the lines and the subtext of it, we're like, oh, I see why they're throwing that in there.
Did it hurt?
I'm hurting Louis.
I carried.
Oh, Lord.
I don't know why, Father. Never been about me.
You chose
Me and you and me.
the darkness.
Boy, oh boy. Oh, this music is evocative of season 1. Like, this is very... I mean, I don't know if it's like bar for bar, but this is very evocative of season 1's orchestral score. You're listening to The Failures.
Album 52, Side A.
But we are back in Montreal then.
The actor. The keeper.
Nice quote. Same, honestly.
The recluse.
Acknowledging all these different elements of his own personality. Again, it just goes to further show he's very well aware of the person he is, or the different people he can be, or all the different facets of his personality, his character.
Recluse.
Google alert for the Vampire Lestat, new indie albums from both the Montreal Gazette and Pitchfork.
The rock star.
3.1 out of 5? Oof. I assume it's out of 5. Reviewed on Halloween of all times. How fitting. By Minerva Ulrich. Beau Ridley should spend the rest of his life in prison. He also saved us from a second album from the Vampire Lestat. Yikes. The nails are in the coffin should tell you everything you need to know about the music before you've even heard the predictable note. A cross between a self-absorbed Robert Plant impersonator.
The nesting dolls of identity.
Aww.
A hibernation in shabby robe.
Oh, to make the album and see it not well received.
Beau on the goodbye box of Lestat.
Of all songs, only Cabbage made it on there.
Here I am, dictating for you.
Hell of a coat.
Still Lestat.
After everything, it's still you. I don't love the pattern per se.
2 years to the day we formed.
I see. So we're back in Montreal. Here's the question though, is that did he turn all the bandmates like Salamander, TC, and Alex? And I think they did, only because in the After Dark episode that we got for episode 5, there was a picture behind the scenes of Salamander being like at the camera, and his eyes were quite a vibrant shade.
Suicide wove itself into our bond.
Yikes.
Alex became the muted center of our haunted reunion.
There you go. Yep, vampires.
See you at rehearsal.
Well, I assume he turned the entire band, at least the vampire Alex is right there. It's also curious how once someone's turned, he's not just referring to him by his name, he like specifically said the vampire Alex. But yeah, so Larry's death is looked at as a suicide. Voicemails, Salamander, Christine, Private, Toy. Did he put Louis back to Louis? Louis? Or is that someone else, like Lou or something? Private, Toy, Private.
If I get on that plane.
Oh, someone that's gonna... Oh, marry Rick someone's on her way to kill him?
I have a driver waiting for you at baggage in a room at Auberge du Vieux-Port for your comforts.
Sounds, what, Creole? Cajun? One of those two?
The album had fallen flat with mortals.
So there's a person coming in.
And now 50,000 vampires were descending upon Montreal.
50,000? Jeez. Dude, this is gonna be crazy. I have anybody, if they wanted to, they could rise up against you and or Louis, eat you alive. That's crazy. There's somebody named Mary Rick coming in. And then because it was less for the people and more for vampires, fell flat, not received well critically. At least we only saw one review anyway. Because, I mean, yeah, it's a very personal album, so the reviews are like, oh, it's just a self-absorbed rock star, just singing the blues over here. Album released, fell flat with mortals, but 50,000 vampires.
Good luck and f*** off, everyone.
And he's leaving town?
Or maybe it was him.
I don't think we should do this.
Oh.
It's a bad idea.
Interesting. So in the wake of the Regina situation, he beseeches Lestat. Lestat says, hey, you should probably... Unless it's just like all in Lestat's mind, right? This is well, we've got Dreamstat, Halluciniki, now we have like, I don't know, Lucid Louis or something. Loopy Louis. So gives him advice like, hey, it's not her, you should stop seeing her. And now they're actually like in and out again. Did like Louis, I mean, they could possibly be good for each other in like a perfect world where they just kind of mind their own business, live their lives, and don't let the worst parts of themselves get too carried away. But is it just another situation of like Louis trying to find that person to like be that rock for him, be that support system, and Lestat, who still loves him and wants that love and acknowledgement and the companionship, is willing to be that person, even though Lestat also needs that kind of person himself. But very curious.
Alive?
But his plan is to like leave. Like once we finish this show, once we do this one last show and one last gift to Gabriella, which is also very misguided. He's doing this for Gabriella, put on the show to galvanize this great conversion without realizing. And then he thinks, oh, once I get the war cry out there and rally the troops, so to speak, everybody's just gonna be like, okay, well, cool, that's it. We're gonna do our thing. We're not gonna worry about like you go do your thing now. Just seems a little bit naive on Lestat's part, not realizing like the profound impact that he's having on his species.
You don't sleep in coffins much now.
No?
It's a Heston.
It's not the coffin.
It's a Heston.
Coffin's good.
Oh, I love the moment where he's like, it's a nice one. It's a Heston. It's like, you don't like the nice coffin that I have? It's a good brand.
Cancel the dinner?
Not the dinner, her.
Oh, the bad idea.
Yeah.
Because we should cancel the dinner too.
The bad idea. Wait, are they bringing in somebody from New Orleans to like marry them, or like to perform a kind of like binding ritual or something like that? Like I mean, dude, where's the U-Haul? Like, how long has it been? It hasn't been that long. Like it can't have been. But that's my new guess now. Like the bad idea, we should cancel her. Clearly, referring to Mary Rick, this gal coming in that has the, you know, that kind of like the accent, the dialect from that region.
Come all this way for the concert.
Also a bad idea. Cancel that too.
50.
Oh Lord.
You remember cornstarch?
Hey.
Well,
Drake dropped 50 songs.
oh my God.
You know, if I woke up in a custom-built Heston...
I'm not a big fan of Drake myself. I'm just saying, like, not to get into like the like music politics and all that, but like after that whole like Millie Bobby Brown texting situation where, oh, just we're good friends and all that. We just talk and give advice and hang out and stuff. I'm just like, still a little bit odd. Still a little bit odd. Not to mention after the whole like getting absolutely dunked on by Kendrick, right? Not that I know too much about music, but I couldn't avoid, hey Drake, I heard you like him young. Like,
I liked him in Degrassi. It was a show on cable.
I like watching them when they're getting along together though, and this is like nice, like domesticated Louis and Lestat. This is pleasant.
You know, if I woke up in a custom-built Heston's coffin, the first thing that
Still in the coffin.
I prefer Lestat.
Lestat is dead.
Okay?
Oh, I didn't notice there were wait, hang on. Were there new identities in said passport? I didn't even read it. I'm so sorry. Oh, I see. Yeah, Sheridan. Different passports. Sheridan Blackwood. Okay, I didn't even realize he was picking up a new name. Born 1992. Around, just a few years older than me, huh? Going for that? How old is... Hang on. Before I feel too bad about myself here. Sam Reed age. Oh, 39. Okay. I was about to say, how young is he? 39. Bro's not even 40. Bro does not look like he's almost 40 though. He's maintaining his stature, his being very well.
I'm not calling him Sheridan.
Clarence.
One of a few different identities. I'm sure the other passports had some names too.
Say, we are the vampire Clarence Oddbody.
Clarence Oddbody.
Bad idea.
So another name. Sheridan Blackwood, but also Clarence Oddbody. Hey, you made your beau laugh, you know?
It is a very bad idea.
Oh yeah, Halloween. I was about to say a cloak.
There's also a third possibility that nothing will come of it.
The Grim Reaper.
But his eye twitches, and really it's a radiator or too much coffee.
You're being too paranoid.
I don't like witches. I don't get on with them.
Oh, it is a witch.
Merrick is different. She is not like the rest, and her and the uncle, they're the same.
Merrick. So, oh, Mary Rick. Merrick. Oh, okay. Is a witch. That's who he reached out to. Like a protection thing, I wonder?
How'd you know the uncle?
We were in a book club for a moment.
Book club, huh?
With Cortland Mayfair?
And Merrick, too.
Oh, Mayfair. A Mayfair drop. Now I have to watch Mayfair Witches.
We were in a book club.
This is sweet though, but I feel like this is the calm before the storm. This is very sweet, domesticated. We're hanging out for Halloween. Our two boys, you know, everybody loves Louis and Lestat, the brat prince, but like our boys just like vibing, hanging out together, walking the streets during Halloween. But this concert is gonna be, I do think with Louis this is a bad idea. This is and again at the risk of siding with Armand, you know, maybe Armand was right, but I mean, if we're on the side of like maybe humanity shouldn't end and shouldn't burn, and like vampires should just continue figuring out a way to exist in the shadows of the world and society, but still like live their own fruitful lives and all that, perhaps a great convergence in the death of humans might not be the best thing in the world. So if that's what Armand's trying to prevent, but I am still unclear as to, I mean, that's the best thing I can figure is that is Armand's motivation, aside from like his love for Daniel and not wanting anything bad to come of Daniel. He said as much to Daniel a few cities ago, a few episodes ago, when he says like, oh, you know, this great convergence, there's more deaths than births, people are dying, vampires are like becoming more and more, this can't happen. Like, he is trying to make sure there's like a balance to the world, I suppose. So
We're in a book club with Cortland Mayfair?
yeah, I assume Mayfair Witches, right? Cortland Mayfair referenced.
And he had done his best to stay clear of the girl, Fradia, as I called her. But
Fradia. But at the same time, but the wound hadn't closed. Okay, so he's trying to stay away. And we can keep calling her Fraudia.
everybody loved Tom Anderson.
Ah, Tom.
That was my line. You know, I said Topeka.
Oh, he said that. Oh, funny, because that's the line that Tom Anderson, guy with the magnificent stash, but still kind of racist and politically motivated. He's the one that said Topeka in season 1. And again, it's crazy. Again, it destabilizes the entire way that I would watch the first 2 seasons in terms of like what I'm seeing versus what's actually happening. Like, it sounds like most things that are being recalled, most of it's happening, but a lot of it is being misrecollected. It was raining one night, as Lestat was like, yeah, it was raining. Like, what's the problem? It was raining. He didn't see those things on the train. He didn't say certain things to Louis. He wasn't a Fabio with a perfect body. Tom wasn't the one who said Topeka. It was Lestat who said it, apparently.
Everyone blending in.
Oh, it's into the song. Oh, because they know him. Are you having a bad day?
Face of it now.
Obey the 5 laws.
Oh, good lord. Obey the 5. There's people walking around giving out pamphlets for the 5 laws. So are there just vampire? I mean, especially because it was a guy, some guy with a ghost sheet over his face. If there's 50,000 vampires incoming, there's got to be some already here. So there could be vampires in disguise walking the streets spreading like this fucking vampire Mormon paraphernalia. Like, excuse me, sir and or madam, are you aware of our glorious Lord and Savior Akasha? Like, are you aware of the 5 laws? By the Vampire Armand? Like, well, I guess not by the Vampire Armand, sorry, but you know what I'm trying to say. But
They're gonna kill half this city when you.
it would make sense that as Lestat's walking around, people would know and would like recognize him at least a little bit, unless they just so happen to be just casually singing these songs. Yeah.
Laws.
Louis
Brown gets rocks agrees with me.
Charlie Brown gets rocks agrees with me. Oh yeah, see, people recognize both of them. Look at that, where they're getting like waves and all that. Maybe local legends. Or I mean, this is his like halfway home, he said. So some people have got to know. Like if you're a big enough fan of certain actors or rock stars or musicians or artists, you kind of like know a disturbing amount about where like some people can know a disturbing amount about like, oh yeah, they live here, they frequent these shops. I shouldn't say a disturbing amount. I don't want to put a negative connotation to it. My go-to is it's fun whenever I see, I love Mads Mikkelsen, the actor, and whenever I see like a video or a clip of him in an interview or a thirst trap vid or like a bit of him in a movie, the comments talk about like how chill of a guy he is, and people were like, yeah, my uncle knew him and lived down the street from him and just would go out on his like would walk around his little town and just smoke like a chimney and would just like smoke and chill and vibe and all this. And so people just like didn't even know he was an actor or famous or didn't really look at him that way. I'm just like, oh, that's Mods. Yeah, he lives nearby. But my point being is that people would just like, if they were local to him especially, they would just like know of him. Make more.
Of the world, and they're here to see me.
So as they're walking down the street, and Louis is, I think rightfully so, Louis is expressing concern over the show or regarding the show. They're gonna kill half the city once they're done. You're the face. He's like, oh, I'm not involved that heavily. He's like, dude, you're the like. Even Louis is aware. Like he can see the writing on the wall. He's like, dude, you're the face of this. I'm curious if they're gonna save the show for. I guess surely it's gonna be the next episode when the show starts. That'll be the big like. Here we are. That is the conversion start. There's gonna be like possibly loss of limb and eyes and like, or I don't know, or we're gonna like maybe end the episode right as the show's about to start, or some other like great big climax cliffhanger.
Hey, Lem, we're almost there.
Oh, Lemuel, Lem.
Hey, lick me lamb.
Oh no.
Okay.
How does Lemuel feel about this? They're in an open relationship, but
Love you too.
oh
Are we really gonna do this?
yeah, we're gonna do this.
And then you picked up when she called you from.
I didn't know it was her.
She's been dipped in the river Styx.
Probably dove in, swam the butterfly. She'll be angry.
What the hell do you mean she'd been dipped in the river? I mean, the river Styx is like what you go across when you pay the ferryman and then you get crossed to the world of the dead. Wait, hang on. She'd been dipped in the river Styx. Is Regina a vampire now? Dipped in the river Styx, like dipped into death. Has Regina been turned, or am I misreading? Try to Venmo her once and let it all go. If that is what he's referring to, that she has also been turned. I like the way, again, it's the way that the writing is done in this show. How the things aren't just outright said in like a very straightforward way sometimes, but the way to go about saying it is like if she has been turned, or maybe he's referencing something else, but even then just the writing choice of saying she'd been dipped in the river Styx, like it's just a really creative way of describing what happened instead.
Maybe Claudia would like a goodbye with you too.
Why are you being nice?
Oh, wait. Maybe Claudia would like a goodbye from you. Oh, so I see what they're doing. They're bringing somebody to engage in, oh, that's the bad idea. Some closure. Oh no, am I gonna cry? Oh, fuck. Are they gonna get somebody to come to like a voodoo ritual to commune with the spirits of the dead and like get closure and say goodbye to Claudia? And oh my God, why else? Oh no, why else would you show his brother in the previously on if Louis might also like see his brother and say goodbye to Paul? Oh no, is that what we're doing? But hang on, what does it mean? I don't know what will happen if I say dipped in the river Styx. In Greek mythology, the phrase dipped in the river Styx refers to the sea nymph Thetis submerging her infant son Achilles into the underworld's river. This made him invulnerable to weapons everywhere except his heel, which she held on to. Right, the famous origin of the term Achilles' heel. So if she's been dipped in the river Styx, does that mean that, yeah, she's been turned? Or does that mean she had like an NDE, like a near-death experience? I'm curious. Why are you being nice? Heaven forbid.
About the proximity of your restaurant to my home.
Catastrophic coincidence.
Oh, is that right? Oh, he has a restaurant now? Like he owns... Oh, I see.
Very nice
Monsieur
to have your
Pitts.
attendance tonight.
His death in the wings.
Monsieur Leonco, such an honor.
Oh, big fan?
I see. Yes, this way, please.
Interesting. This is the same restaurant that we had. I'll take your scythe, good sir. And checking your scythe at the door. Maybe this is a vampire dinner type of deal. You know, all these years, I know all these big fancy words I can spell, I think, very well in my opinion, but restaurant always still fucks me up. Like I still can't for the life of me get it on my first go. Like I'm like restaurant. Like it always screws me up. So Lemuel's also gonna be here. This is a restaurant for vampires, or just like a nice restaurant, just a fine dining establishment? Immediately the whole restaurant. Oh yeah, it's all vampires. Oh, okay. Well, make more. There's a lot of them.
Taylor and Travis.
Oh my god. Taylor and Travis. Swift and Kelsey, huh? I know enough about music to know about that reference at least. Oh boy. And of course Daniel's just going to be eating this up. You know, one complaint that I did have, and I was trying to, I didn't want to look through this with a pair of like purple colored vampire glasses the entire time, right? Like I had complaints about the fact that we didn't get more from the flashbacks. I would have liked to have gotten more. And then sorry, ice pick heading out of nowhere. And then also not getting as much from like Magnus or even Marius in some respects, or Nikki for that matter. But one thing I was looking forward to, now my complaint was initially going to be, man, for the Interview with the Vampire series, we only had really like one or two, like, well, let's be generous, like one official sit down, two or three, about three-ish scenes of Daniel actually trying to conduct the interview directly with Lestat for his documentary. But what ended up being subverted there is that because, and I suppose it makes sense, because my complaint was like, I'm not getting as much interview between Daniel and Lestat as I wanted going into the season. But to the show's credit, they do kind of make a point in the beginning to say that this is the show formerly known as Interview with the Vampire, and the whole idea is that Lestat's like, no, I'm not like Louis. I'm not just gonna sit down and like give you my whole life story and you can like crack me open just like you would Louis, or how you would any one of your other subjects. Like I take control of my narrative and I tell the story. So it's still a interview, but more like a la a monologue or a recollection of events that have transpired. So it's less an interview between him and Daniel and more of a, well, I'm gonna give you a little gift, Daniel, but we're not gonna do this, you and I. But what I am gonna do instead is my own thing, and I'm gonna make my own series of recordings pressed to vinyl of me giving an interview of sorts and telling my side of the story. And so kind of, again, it's, while I'm a little bit disappointed in that kind of paradigm shift, I do understand and I respect the choice. It makes sense for the sake of the narrative, like the narrative decision to have Lestat be the one to literally take the narrative back into his own power. It makes sense, though I do admit that I was hoping for more of like back and forth, following him as the videographer and the documentary filmmaker during the whole thing. Also, to anybody curious, I don't know why it took me so long. So because I was lazy and I kept forgetting, and I haven't, or I could try to order one, but I don't think it would get here in time. I wanted to get a Vampire Lestat tour shirt. I really need to get one, and I keep forgetting to buy one. But I was like, why haven't I worn a tour shirt yet? So for anybody curious, I'm wearing the Ashniko's Smoochies Tour t-shirt, which I got to see her when she came through Nashville recently, which is the second time that I've seen her live. Very fun show, very long set, like a 2+ hour set of like her new Smoochies album, plus of course some of the classics and the hits. Very fun, very good stuff. But yeah, like really like Ashniko. Right up there with, and not to mention, pleasant surprise, didn't even realize, but Royal and the Serpent oiled up. Oh my God, opened up for for Ashniko as well at the show, and then I got to see Royal live as well on her second headline tour when she came through Nashville as well. So
Congratulations.
Taylor and Travis. Oh, that was all the opening credits. Holy shit! We all fall down. Please turn. Oh no! Please turn Larry down. Ugh, oof. I think I'll watch the end credits in the season finale. By the way, I'll watch them all the way through again.
And we were where?
Oh shit! Now, I like how right. All right, you know what? How ironic is that? And I love being caught in the moment, in the circumstance right here. All these episodes, I was hoping for the interview to continue, and it wasn't. And now here we are. I like this. So instead of having both sides against each other in competing interviews, we have Rum Sprina Malloy over here, old Danny boy, the pipes they're calling, coming over here to conduct the interview instead and interview them both together. But instead of being like Louis and Armand and their kind of weird pre-written, pre-rehearsed narrative, now instead we have, okay, well, we're both in a better headspace right now. We're gonna give you like maybe they could work together to present a series of events of what actually happened, perhaps.
I believe you were mid-antagonizing us about Hurricane Odette.
Oh, they've been doing this.
Bonds, rebonding. Odette, category 3.
The hurricane. So that was as far as the story got, as far as we saw it in season 2. But now, so they've been interviewing for a little while now, all for another book, perhaps another book to set things straight. Curious. I wonder if Daniel approached them or if they approached Daniel. And also, Daniel and Armand right now that makes me nervous. My boy, I don't want my boy to get devil's minioned. Like,
What did you say to him after a 77-year ghosting?
I don't remember exactly.
those remain between them.
I couldn't hear anything. It was a hurricane.
I like that. It was a hurricane. The sassiness.
Ending for my dog. Give me something.
Choose some words.
Enough that he showed up.
Okay. In the wine cellar.
We'll just run credits over footage of Ridley gunning him down.
Oh, Lord.
Pyrrhic love. Is that a thing for you, Louis? Was love the reason why you and Armand never saw any of my gotchas coming?
Oh, see, now he's, again, asking those questions because Lestat planted that seed of doubt. Then he had the conversation with Armand in the park a couple episodes back. Or was that last episode, rather? And now he's trying to get a handle on, like, did I actually get him with the gotchas, or did Armand allow it all to happen?
Here for the last Mike hump and the end of the world is the 3 out of 10 from Pitt.
Oh, it was out of 10? Oh, shit. I was hoping it was out of 5. Dude, Pitchfork gave it oh, no. Hey, to be fair, it was a 3.5, actually. That's crazy, though. Look, even I haven't heard of the new album or anything like that, but even if it's, like, different from what they've been recording, it can't be that bad. A 3.5 out of 10 is wild. Sounds like the people that don't like this new season of Vampire Lestat, honestly.
Niche rocker to dark monarch.
Well, LOL.
Version and anthem. It's up to them. You, what's done with it?
I see. Lestat's his version, like his mindset is, I gifted the conversion an anthem. It's up to you what is done with it.
I forgot my keys to the car.
Oh.
Alarmists, the both of you.
And,
Rightfully concerned.
Wood, dumb name.
I've been dreaming of forests.
Could be nice.
I could do that for a decade.
From Iggy to Birder.
Slug my way back to the waking world.
Of course, Daniel is looking for something more salacious and interesting. He's like, it's almost as if Daniel is upset that these two have seemingly found peace. He's like, what? Nothing dramatic, nothing violent between the two of you. No more fighting, no more back and forth. He's like, where's my scoop? Where's my story here? This documentary is gonna crash and burn at this point.
Sondheim and Sakamoto in a hotel lounge.
A simple life.
Hotels.
Aw, cute.
Gentlemen,
Simple life.
something he has been holding for this special evening.
Evening.
An amuse-bouche.
And who are you?
Jean Lucien Lachapelle.
Oh, they're gonna
Immigré who came to Montreal.
Immoqueré.
Delicate, flowery.
I mean, she's gorgeous, of course.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir. Enchanté. A light feeding. A lovely vintage. Interesting. I get the notion, but also kind of very macabre. Where it's like we brought you a nice bottle of your ancestor, like, or rather a descendant of your ancestors. But again, it kind of like dips a little bit into the incestuous nature of like Lestat's history, where it's like, oh, it can't just be a nice little feeding or a nice little like a chef prepared meal, well, vampire meal. Courtesy of like a rare gold blood type donor. It's like, oh no, this person is technically part of your family tree. So we thought you'd be a fan of that. I mean, I don't know if they meant to like make it incestuous. Probably not, because who all knows about that aside from does Louis know at this point? Surely Louis knows now too. I mean, Armand knows. I think Daniel knows now because Armand told him, provided that Daniel believes him. But very few people do know. I call it I hesitate to call it vintage because she's not like old per se. Am I over embellishing a last name, by the way, whenever I say it like that? Because I feel like I'm being like almost offensively like American doing French accent when I say Leon Kyo, like that. But I hear them say like Leon Ko, like Leon Ko instead of being like Kyo. It's kind of like mon coeur, right? And you could say mon coeur, but I feel like when you say it, if you want to say it authentically French, you would say mon coeur. Something like that, but let me know if I'm over embellishing. Damn, it's a lot. Lovely tasting.
Still fanging Sophia?
Feigning. Cute.
I'm gonna meet her tonight, I think.
Oh.
1980s. I can see her in those big shoulder pads.
Uh-oh.
One has to ask, what is with the tan?
I was wondering if I was losing my damn mind. Is he trying to be out in the sun more? Okay, I thought it was the lighting, but I thought Daniel did look a bit like he had like heavier makeup on. He does have a tan. So he goes for a personal poke, a little a cheap joke at Lestat's expense, and he immediately reciprocates. He didn't open with it, by the way. It was a tit for tat, a quid pro quo, and goes right back for the tan. I'm just like, oh, you want to ask a personal question that could hurt me? So what's with the tan there? You trying to run for presidency right now? What's going on here?
Indulge and overshoot your coffin again.
Indulge. Damn.
Bon appetit.
See, it's admirable to an extent. I don't, maybe admirable is not the right word, but I like how, again, for one, I love the music so far. I really hope we get a vinyl of not just the Vampire Lestat songs, but also the soundtrack. But it's been gentle piano, which at first was nice as they're walking the streets together, harkening back to New Orleans. But now, again, we shift in here, and it could even arguably be diegetic to the fancy restaurant. It's just a nice, like, piano motif, some lovely background music. It's nice.
I'm seeing someone.
What?
The fog of love.
The tan of whatever you want, sweetheart.
Or 10 of whatever you want, sweetheart. Are you? Oh my god, was I right? Oh, in terms of Devil's Minion? I don't know if he's gonna tell them, but oh my god, if like I'm seeing somebody and that's who it is. Even the dark circles around his eyes, is that like, that's new, right? Deep tan, dark circles. Armand did say I'll help you to walk in the sun once more. Curious.
To Daniel Malloy,
And his new bow.
biographer or documentarian.
Oh, but this screams the season 2 pre-trial cafe scene all over again. What does this show like to do right before pulling the rug out from under you? Like it likes this makes me nervous. We know Louis gets hurt. We know Armand also gets hurt. But like the fact that it's like everything seems sweet and nice and they're together, but things can't just end sweetly in this show, you know? So now we're at a point where everything seems nice. Oh, now Daniel's seeing somebody. Who could Daniel be seeing? It's like the cafe scene all over again when it's like Armand talking with Louis and Claudia and Madeline right before everybody goes and lives their own respective lives. But now this is just like a storm brewing on the horizon over here.
Ex's abandoned offspring, all those things at once.
Shared exes abandoned, huh?
He seemed off.
Dan, always.
So him and Armand are official.
And we are. It is exhausting to pretend otherwise.
So worried.
I owed him an ending.
That was his ending? I owed him an ending.
Could you feel him trying to read our minds?
Who's honking?
He got in mine.
Are we being followed right now? Oh my god.
Come on.
My adoring public. Give him a taste. Oh no. New song. And that's from the new album, by the way. That's not bad. That's not bad. 3.5. Be damaged. Be cabbage. Like it's again embracing who you are and the scars that have come before. It's giving kintsugi. It's giving that is it. You know, wait, I don't want to put my foot in my mouth here. Kintsugi. It is kintsugi. Okay, cool. Yeah, but back. Forget I didn't look that up. It's giving kintsugi. Yeah, the album sounds good. Aww, that was sweet.
Done something. Congratulations. Thank you for the Heston's call.
It was a Heston's, of course, a gift. See, I'm worried. This is too sweet. God damn it, this is too sweet. I'm waiting for the other shoe, les shoe, to drop. Oh, look at that. Look at that. All giggly and sweet.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course, mon cher. Mon gars.
Yeah, I'll risk it.
You arrived in Paris.
Got some speed bumps out there, Jesus.
And I walked with you and Armand along the set.
Yeah.
Also ate a photograph.
You did. You did. Dreamstot. I had a photograph? What?
And
Anyway.
You're sharing a coffin, slitting your throat, guilt.
I really like how we're talking about this together, though. I really do.
See me too, those years.
That's kind of a lie. Well, I was about to say, I mean, in those years, I mean, we know he saw him recently. Like Louis would literally show up in the recording studio, but surely he wouldn't lie about that.
the songs might have shook loose a bone or two.
Yeah, more recent.
This is it. No, this is your thing.
Uh-oh.
You and you only.
Me, you, Antoinette.
Oh,
Fuck.
a voice I could. So Lestat's trying to say, because my complaints were, oh yeah, lying by omission. He was leaving out a lot of his life story, some of which might have been prevalent in certain elements. But Lestat is like, well, that was my traumatic history. I've been through a lot. That was all in the past. I wanted to live a life with you as the person I was then, like as like what in the perspective of that time. I want to live with you as I am now, you and me together doing our thing, and not, burdened or clouded by our pasts. Just me seeing you for who you are, like you letting go of your past, me letting go of my past, and then we live together in the present and then make a future together going forward. So that's what Lestat's trying to say, is like, I didn't mention any of that because I didn't want that to like define me and be who I was, which I can understand to an extent, right? You can't, it's so tricky, especially with the show like this and talking about and analyzing it, right? Because whether it's a vampire, I mean, vampire's a bit more severe, but like whether it's a vampire or a human being, like you need to acknowledge and be aware of your past, lest you be doomed to repeat it, and use it to inform decisions going forward. But based on the severity of the actions committed or what you've been involved with, what you've done or said, or the things you've seen, I don't know. It's a weird balancing act of like, you can't just say, oh, the things I did in the past, they are in the past. I am who I am now. And then you keep doing fucked up things. And then you say, oh, well, I did that fucked up thing, but that was 5 minutes ago. That was who I used to be. I murdered somebody 10 years ago, but I'm not a murderer anymore. But then when you murder somebody again, you're like, I murdered somebody yesterday, but I'm somebody else different now. Like you have to, it's a balancing act of like, it's the same thing about regret, right? I've gotten into conversations about regret on the show. Or while doing these reactions, talking about how living with regret is pointless because in your life you operate with the limited knowledge, information, and the scope of everything in front of you, or like on the your proverbial plate. And if you do make mistakes, or you don't ask out that one person, or you do like fail the test, or you forget to do something important, like if you live your life with regret, it's like there's no point in regretting. Like you can take the mistakes you made, or little oopsies you did, or whatever, anything like that, and let them inform your decisions going forward, and operate with better, like, what, hindsight's 2020. You couldn't have known, and you operated best you could with your given set of, like, your given inventory, so to speak. So anyway, I'm rambling now about, like, but it's I don't know. I get what he's saying, and I do empathize to a certain extent, but at the same time, being a vampire is a little bit different, and there are some things that I think would have been important to share, but especially if they had been dating for a while and they were more or less like, a couple, like they were companions, they were a couple, essentially married in the vampiric sense, and there'd be elements of there. I mean, like, Lestat, Louis told Lestat, like, I mean, he saw most of his fucked up life, and I believe Louis opened up to him, as far as I could tell, on multiple occasions about his past and his experiences and all that. So you think Lestat would do the same, but it wasn't until the going got tough that Lestat would kind of begrudgingly open up about some of his trauma and such.
Actually, that's not fair. She was a good time.
Oh, that's funny. Antoinette, she was the voice I could fuck. And then he's like, you know what? I can't respect memory like that. She was a good time. The honesty here.
And the book's prose reveled in making her smaller than she was.
Oh, wow. The respect there. The respect, like, didn't want to downplay her role. She wasn't just a side piece. She was her own woman. And now it makes me curious if the way that Louis told Daniel Lestat treated and spoke with her is accurate to how he actually, like, well, for lack of a better term, handled her.
Just for Antoinette.
Justice for Antoinette.
She thought the gift would help her grow it back. She was very impulsive.
You dangled her.
Oh, very similar Nikki. That's funny. All these things that Louis, how he thought he did it, and Lestat is like, that wasn't quite true. No, Antoinette wasn't just a side figure. She was her own woman. I didn't make her cut off a finger. She cut off her finger because she thought the dark gift would grow it back.
And then to punish.
What?
There's honesty.
No.
Oh my god.
What you do with the blood?
That's true. That is so true. We aren't our fathers, you know? Like it is our task as the next generation to try to be better than the one that came before. And then should I have kids, or should I also pass on my lineage in some way or another? Their job is to be better than me, and to, like, take all the faults that I can only hope so, at least. But as far as I can tell, the lineage of my own, right? Like my father, I have some similarities to my father, but I am inherently a very different man in my own right from how my father is. And for any of the faults that may exist within him, he is a very, very different man than his father. And to see it kind of, I've talked about this before, especially in Last of Us Season 2, Joel Miller, and how they kind of, we got to see his father in the show and expand more upon his character and the generational progression there. But no, he's true. It's the same. It's literally, it's both, in the case of this with a vampire, being metaphorical, but also being very literal. Yeah, you don't want to just say, oh, like, I used to have anger issues when I was younger, when I was like a child, right? Or when I was growing up. And, I saw like an anger management like person about it. And now I still have frustrations, but I'm much more chill, and I don't know if you call it compartmentalization or an after effect of the trauma that I've suffered, where due to what I've been through, I know how to, like, immediately shut off emotional receptors to, like, help me survive something. But all that to say is, like, I believe that anger might have come from, like, my father. Like, I think, like, not to say he was an angry man or he ever, like, hurt me or anything like that, but I've seen him get upset, and sometimes it can be a very easy thing for him to, like, not fly off the handle, but for him just to be like, just, like, get upsetty spaghetti. But then I hear about, like, but he's never ever laid a finger on me. But then I hear about his father, and my God, slapped around silly, this, like, burly, like, worker, and I think, like, worked in, like, a steel mill or something like that back in the day. My father wanted to, like, be an architect and go to a college for art, like, the arts in that sense, right? And his mother was supportive to an extent, but his father was like, that's not a real job. You're not going to go do that. I'm not going to support you with that. And then generations have crossed, and my father, there's still a lot of progressive things about this world that he just can't get behind, and he has his own share of prejudice, and I get that he's a product of his upbringing. But that being said, he was a better father to me than his father was to him. And when he found out I was going to go to an arts high school and then an arts college, he never was like, no, you're not. He was like, well, I would like it if you, he was always like, I would like it if you would play sports. Didn't play sports. And he's like, well, shit, okay. And then he was like, I like it if you went to the same college I did and study what I studied. And I didn't. And he was like, well, shit, okay. But he's on multiple times encouraged me to follow my dreams, and he sees that I'm making it work, that I'm holding down a 9-to-5 while also doing this. And he's like, I don't, his exact mentality is, I don't understand 100% what you're doing, but it's working, and I want you to follow your dream, and I'll be supportive of it to that extent. So I can't fault him for that. But and I have my own flaws as well, but I can only hope that when I have my own blood, and I have, should I have children someday, a child or multiple children, that I'm terrified of fucking it up, but I would like to be able to pass along, the better parts of myself, and hopefully have another generation of my blood and the name that will, be good people and do more with it. It's a massive tangent, but it all speaks to this point, which is that your trauma, your experiences, and whose blood you have in your veins doesn't have to define you. You can be your own person. What the sins of the father, right? Like what your parents have done, or for better or for worse. I mean, if you had a perfect nuclear family, cool, bravo. I didn't, but I've tried to be better than what not to say my parents are bad. I'm just saying I've tried to be better. I've tried, like, in some respects. I'm just trying to be a good person and do interesting new things, and like further on legacy, but with like a fresh coat of paint. But yeah, Lestat doesn't have to let the blood of the people that he has in him and what's happened to him. His maker's temper has come out here and there, and he has done things he's not proud of, and he really holds it against himself. But like Louis is saying, I mean, there's truth in that, which is that, well, Lestat, you can be your own person. You don't have to fall back on, I have the blood in me of these other people, so that's what, like, I'm cursed. Like, this is how I am. I am who I am, and I do these bad things, and I'm going to do bad things because of who I have within me. And Louis is like, no, it's your responsibility, and you can be who you want to be and do what you want to do, because regardless of whose blood you have in you, it's still your blood, and you can choose what to do with it now. So it's a very nice message. Very true. Very sweet. Albeit perhaps a little bit cheesy, but
By your gymnasiums
oh Lord.
with the blood.
Yeah, Louis becomes a life coach at this point, where it's like, pay me $50K for a course where I tell you to invest properly and then just believe in yourself. I can't stand life coaches, man.
Cause, Louis, I'm a monster.
You're not a monster. I mean, we're creatures of the night, but...
Introduce me.
You'll do fine.
Oh, this will be interesting. All right, which makes me concerned for Louis. This...
Hello, handsome man.
Oh, Lord.
Famous Louis.
Everything he said is a quarter-half lie.
So a quarter half truth.
Oh, here we go.
What you watch?
Prego.
Prego.
Oh, we need to rehearse.
As he's like, another one of Lestat's paramours I could maybe fuck. Now we got a vampire band. We got a cover, though, here.
He's shy.
Woo! What a little twirl. Oh, even Sam's playing, yeah.
That you said you don't think he should sing tomorrow.
Doesn't matter what I think. He's gonna do what he's gonna do.
Just understandably concerned.
They are coming from all over the world. Dubai, Paris, Detroit.
You could be in danger.
You have many admirers, but also others.
Yeah, that's literally what I was thinking. I'm like, with all those vampires, they're all going to be like pro Louis and Lestat. This is going to be, I mean, there's plenty of supporters, and I'm sure they might come to Lestat's aid, But, I mean, not every single vampire is down for the conversion. Hell, the Fane gang rolled up before they were even a well-known band and tried to, like, drug and then murder Lestat. And then people at the end of season 2 were literally like, oh, Louis is the one who started all of this and started sharing the gospel. Now, I'm sure there's people that believe that, like, sharing the gospel is, they've come around to it. So I gotta figure, logically speaking, that even some of Louis' initial detractors who were upset with the it all being shared, a lot of them have come around to Lestat in his way of sharing the gospel and all that. So surely there would be some people that were anti-Louis that may now be like, oh no, this idea of sharing and talking about it and now like converting and everybody knowing is perfectly fine. But still, there are people out there that seek to cause him harm, and we know that one way or another, harm is exactly what befalls Louis, regardless of how prolific of a killer he is.
I think he'd be hurt if I didn't show.
I think he'd be more hurt if you were hurt.
That is very true. First time that I've agreed with Gabriella in a long time, but I still don't trust her, but she's spot on about that, the danger of it. Also, I can only imagine, by the way, how Alex feels. He hasn't said a word this whole episode, but just the silent acknowledgement from down on the sidewalk when Lestat's talking to him. But, you know, his brother, like, from the public eye anyway, his brother took his own life. Like, it's his brother, dude. Like, I don't have siblings in that, like, close traditional sense, but if vampire or not, it isn't just something that kind of, like, goes by or, like, you gloss over. So I can only imagine what's going on in Alex's head during all this, and he's still showing up to practice and such.
You should stand by me. I will protect you.
Why do I not like that idea?
All right, enough of that. Let's rehearse.
That wasn't the rehearsal? Oh, that's the warm-up?
If we're gonna do this one or not, Mr. Dulac.
Oh.
Salamander here calls it a, what did you call it?
Is this his Kanye moment here?
Salt?
Salamander, the prolific salamander. What'd you call this bit? This one track? Dick salt? Oh, good lord.
Salt? You're a tough cookie. She's on the phone.
Tough cookie, TC.
On the block, will it be cha?
Is it a song about...
Brutal truth for a brutal song.
Okay, you're the test screener right here. New song, though. And now who's he singing about, huh? Oh. Get you somebody who looks at Lestat the way Louis does in this moment, huh? And vice versa. The pull of an invisible distant thread. Oh, but I wonder if both of them are like, oh, that song's about me. Oh, because Louis like, oh, he's singing about love and a distant thread being pulled. It could be about me. Then Gabriella's like, yes, our relationship, even from far away, he knows how much that I care about him, at least when she wants to care about him. So both of them are like, oh, this could be about me right now. Also, 3.5 out of... I've only heard a little bit of 2 songs at this point. 3.5 out of 10 is fucking wild, by the way. Ooh, I love the accoutrement. Oh, and the strings behind him, too. This is a whole performance. I mean, this is rehearsal. Oh, Lord. Strange, you could do more. And he's over here like, that's my man, huh? Always striving for perfection, huh? This is a beautiful shot, by the way. I love the lighting and the... Oh. Well. So, first of all, I feel like the song should be called Brutal Love, not Dick Salt, but, you know, temp names, right? But now... eye contact intensely so with Louis, and oh boy, Gabriella realizes, and what does she do? She's like, he's not singing about me and him, he's singing about them. As she turns. Is that hurt in those eyes, Gabriella? Is that hurt? Is that, oh no, are you feeling a swing right now of your son moving on in a healthy sense and like expressing passion and concern for somebody else? Gabriella? Is that right? I feel in a certain type of way. Would you, sweetheart? No? Couldn't be you. No. Very nice. Nice little serenade. This can only end in tears, sir. These songs all sound great, by the way. Watch out there, MJ. Lemuel. Exclusive, Interview with the Vampire, a new documentary by best-selling Daniel Malloy. I don't like how it's like the good, the bad, interesting. Have you seen this? Made it up to the big French north. Texting from inside my coffin. Safe, safe. Have you seen that? Yeah, let me check it out. That's nice. Okay, interviews dropped. And now, is it a video then, or is it like an article? Because he's making a documentary, so I figure it's a video. Interview has dropped, and I'm sure it's going to be Daniel's newest hit piece. We'll see. Suppose we'll find out. Oh, bro's taking a nap over there.
I saw you on your phone.
Oh,
It's rude.
it is rude.
You were great. The show was great. You shouldn't do it.
Don't have your phone out during a movie or performance or anything like that. Just save it for later.
Can I have a moment?
Oh, mommy dearest feeling jaded? What are those heels?
I'll tell you in the car.
Uh-huh.
Ciao, Bella.
Ciao, Bella.
You like Sophia?
He likes his phone.
Oh my god. Oh, see? And right there, what does she do? Because now she feels like a certain way about it. So she's like, she knows that like that annoyed him. So she also points it out where it's like, well, he liked his phone during all of that. He's on his phone a lot during your show, wasn't he?
So you had company.
So you left your scarf?
And small books for travel. Have you pack?
No, she's jealous. She's getting territorial or possessive.
Great way of making more.
I feel like he's going to be able to finally like get to a better state of mind emotionally and mentally where he's finally able to move on from this like toxic relationship with his mother, and she's going to realize, oh, he doesn't need or want, or he doesn't feel like he needs or wants me anymore. I'm not gonna, she's not gonna like that because she wants that, the attention and the attraction, and she wants that relationship in that sense.
Does the room have HBO?
Armand's in town.
I sensed that.
He's going to try to disrupt things.
She is like trying to toss all these different like distractions his way. Everything that she's brought up, he's been like, oh, you know, he like oh, Louis liked you. Oh, likes his phone. Oh, well, Armand's in town. Oh, well, I know he's in town. I already know that. Oh, well, I'm gonna go take on a populace. Okay, Mom, have fun with that. Just like
Put him over my knee and give him 5 whacks for the 5 great laws.
LOL.
Show Alex some
Avoid
affection.
an appeal.
Well. Alex walks by. Maybe I should show Alex some affection. He could use his mother. You know, I'm gonna go be a better, even though I'm your creator here, but like you're my mother. It's a nice little dig right there. A nice little, not so subtle, not so mean dig, just an honest one where he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go see Alex right now. I know you're trying to like hook me in with something right now, but he's like, no, I'm gonna go see, he can use his mother, you know, some attention from his parental figure right now. So I'm gonna go do that because that would be the right thing for a mother to do.
Bring you to the hangar after. Don't forget to pack.
That cloak. Interview with Daniel dropped, so I don't know what the nature of the interview is going to look like. I'm sure Louis is going to watch it first. Is that in the documentary? Is that in the... Are you kidding me? Yo, did Daniel fucking put a sex tape in his document? That's... Oh, no. This is crazy work.
This is on the internet?
Oh, shit. Oh no. And that's gonna...
Actually one of those fakes.
He's gonna drop... When is he gonna tell him? When is he gonna tell him that this is Daniel's interview? Oh.
Files and false flaggers of the dark web.
Oh, here we go. Daniel, why are you doing this? I normally root for my boy, but... Oh my god, this is the devil's minion then. So, what are is this the irony of it? Is this the dark, full circle character arc where Daniel goes from being a bright young reporter with a point of view, asking the proper questions, and trying to investigate the toxic relationships of these vampires, only to then become one himself, and then also get involved in a toxic relationship with a vampire? We are doomed to repeat this trauma. And now it's like spreading. This is, oh my god. That's a gross invasion of privacy, by the way. That is more than not cool, might I say. Didn't have to be this way, but I know that Armand, this has his, either this is Daniel trying to get back at Lestat for the little trick he pulled all those cities ago when he like didn't let him get the big scoop that he wanted, and now he's just being petty as fuck. But it's also, this amount of pettiness and animosity also does like scream Gremlin Armand actions, like, for sure.
Your boy, Daniel Malloy, back.
Your boy.
Audacious clip from my upcoming documentary.
Oh, this is just one clip. The documentary is not even out yet. He just decided to post a clip. Yeah, I think it's less of a tan, more of a sunburn. But look at him. In this video, he's standing in the daylight right there. What is Armand doing? Is he just, like, giving him his blood directly?
Interview with the vampire.
Yeah, he's standing in the daylight. No glasses either.
First, meet his girlfriend, Sophia.
Oh my god.
You heard then as the vampire Gabriella.
And this is, so it's a hit piece. This is the ultimate expose. Armand doesn't want the great conversion. So what does he do? Well, Lestat has all these followers. So what if we show them who Lestat really is, and that he is engaged in an incestuous relationship with his dear mother dearest. So he's trying to destabilize the revolution, the uprising, the conversion, as it were. But also, I like how people were kind of right, because some people were like, oh, you know, who would be the cinephile who would, like, watch all the vampire content movies? And people were like, Armand has an appreciation of the arts, and, like, first it was, you know, it was theater back in the day, but as the times shift and progress, it could easily be, like, cinema, movies, and film. So the fact that, like, Armand is over here starring in Daniel's, like, little documentary and all this, it just seems very fitting. But at the same time, once again, Armand being the little, like, secret director behind the scenes, just, like, perched like a gargoyle on his chair. I always think of, I don't know if I can find this from the first picture, but if I do Has-Been Hotel Loot Gargoyle, will this show up? Hang on. The image? Yeah, from the scene, yeah, Loot is the gargoyle. There's a scene in season 2 that's playing out, and Loot is just in the background, perched, just dripping with animosity, and like just in the background, just being like, I hate what's happening here. This is how I would view Armand in any given situation, but in like this documentary, now he's getting more into it, but he's just over here like spiteful about it. He's like, they're happy and they're content, and now they're going to go be in love, and the songs and the great conversion, and no thank you. But like it's the first thing that made me think of, is just when I think of Armand and Gremlin now.
Lestat's mother.
Great.
Here he is, 2 months after his quote.
And now we come to a crossroads, right? You think you're a monster. Louis said it's not, like, the blood you have inside you doesn't define you. We're trying to live our lives and forget the past. So are we going to get upsetty spaghetti, and are we going to, like, go after Armand full tilt and fall right into a trap? Be goaded into a response? Or are we going to just continue our course and just try to move on? But this is a hell of a personal slight.
Mom on the Von Sasquatch studio couch.
Christ. Oh no.
You answered them, that's obviously why Daniel was off.
And there you go. And what's his immediate response, as we've discussed before, is to, like, in awkward situations or stressful times, to laugh. And here he is cackling and guffawing when clearly he's in a state of emotional distress right now.
Sending on this AI deep fake.
Lord.
Was that your mom I just met?
Yes.
Is Sophia your mother?
My mother is dead.
In the proverbial sense, but you gotta, if we're coming out with the truth right now, though, I guess, yeah, so Louis still doesn't know. I figured he would have told her, he would have, like, told him still. Louis being remarkably calm, but also clearly very perturbed.
And there's the universe and some more cervix.
Oh shit. Oh, I feel, oh my god, I get that. When I get anxious, my bowels, yeah, my body. It's literally such a stressful, it's so stressful that it's making him sick. Ugh.
Goddamn car.
Shit. It was going, I told you, it was going so nicely too.
Dying, Louis. I gave her the basic. It's fundamental. No, it's a compliment.
Oh, so he's drawing a hard line in the sand at the incestuous nature of the relationship here, I see.
Oh, yeah, I can see how that would happen.
I mean, yeah, I disagree with Louis, and I disagree with Louis just because he had a different relationship with his mother and all that. Yeah, I don't, you know, do we support it societally? Perhaps not, but I'm definitely in the camp of, oh, I could see how that would happen. Yeah, for sure.
Montreal, see me sing?
Oh.
And this is the half-human soul that you conveniently whip out.
Oh.
What argument you got from your mother?
It's crazy because in this circumstance here, there are points being made on both sides. Like, I can accept and understand how Lestat ended up in the situation. I'm not going to condemn him for it in that regard. However, I would condemn him in terms of, like, again, lying by omission, right? Like hiding that truth. I think that if it's one of those situations where perhaps this wouldn't be as volatile of a situation or as explosive of a confrontation if he had gotten in front of it. And perhaps there are elements of his past he doesn't have to go into with, like, like the Magnus assault, for example. He could say, he could tell him that, like, oh yeah, like I knew Magnus and he did things that were not great. And that's how I was turned, and then, leave it at that. But with something like this, he doesn't have to go into the nitty-gritty details. But if he had been like, oh, by the way, since we're talking again, since we're seeing each other again, the woman that I'm seeing, her name is not Sophia, it is Gabriella. That's my mother, and I have been, like, I think if he had gotten in front of it, because eventually, I mean, this is a situation in the, in the present. Like, our pasts don't have to define us, but this is something where it's like, I agree with both of them. I think this reaction is pretty visceral, and I think that Louis does need to be. I would like it if Louis were to calm down and, like, hear him out at least, but I get why he's upset. It's more like, I think, like I said, both sides have points I agree with, and both sides have points I don't agree with. I don't think this is a time for Lestat to downplay the situation, but I also don't think it's a time for Louis to explode about it. However, I think that Lestat needs to acknowledge that this is a lie. This is a truth that's being kept, and it's a pretty important one, and explain how it got to this point for him, outside of just, like, Louis buying the music, the box with the vinyls, and being able to hear his story. And then there's also a point to Louis where he needs to, I think, at least hear him out and try to, like, understand how and why it is the way that it is, right? But anyway, it's I just might be spelling out the obvious here. So I get why the argument's happening, and this is a rare circumstance where I can see both points of their sides for sure.
This is the half-human soul that you conveniently
But now we're getting personal.
It's sickness. Maybe the source of all your
Oh.
I have talking you back from unimaginable frenzy in the middle of my own fracturing.
Let's go. Let's go. No, 100%. 100%. Valid call out. Valid as fuck. Valid, dude. He's so real for that. 100% is what happened. Like, look, you want to talk about sickness in the head and all that, if we're getting personal here. Look, yeah, we're both unnatural creatures. We both have our own slew of issues that we're working through. And did I condemn or judge you? No. Did I see the inherent sickness of the situation? I did. But I helped. I was open. I was understanding. I was in, yeah. All I'd be doing is repeating exactly what he just said right here. He was in the middle of his own spiral, and like I said in the last episode, he still took the time to help Louis and to understand and try to be there for him, and then, like, provide what Louis needed in that moment. And now here we are in his time of need, and Louis is not extending the same courtesy. It's another fucked up thing that Lestat got involved in. And yeah, there is a lie involved in all of that, but man, he for real. He's so real for that. 100%.
For you, the possibility of reckoning your crippling guilt. I offer.
Oh my god.
Okay. I offer.
Oh.
It's okay. It's okay.
Jesus. Dude, he's having a goddamn anxiety. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, it's so much. It's so overwhelming. It's too real. Dude's having a fucking anxiety attack right now. Dude, I've been there. Oh my god, I've been there. And that just, like, this is an argument, and you just feel so strongly about it. And, like, the fact that even in this, like, emotionally tumultuous state of mind, he's, like, all in one breath, and just to get let it out, and, like, the adrenaline of it and the anxiety of it, and all it comes together, and then you just like, concisely and clearly get across your frustrations and emotions. But dude, yeah. It's the 1-2 punch. The clip is released and already sends him into a state of, like, panic and anxiety to the point where, like, he has a visceral reaction. He starts vomiting. And then over here, the man that he loves is, like, he's going at him. And he's just like, you do not understand your hypocrisy in this moment. And then just, like, lets it all out. Just the body just, like, shutting down on him as he's just having a panic attack. Jesus.
It's okay.
All right, good. I'm glad Louis at least.
That's all right.
Okay, good. Comfort. That's nice. Oh, support. It's okay. We had a moment. It was a fragile, delicate moment, but we made it through. And then it gets through to Louis. And even in that moment, Louis sees like that. Yeah, he might have some valid points there, but he's like, man, maybe I am being a bit of a hypocrite and a bit too harsh in the circumstance. And I see like clearly how this is affecting him as well. And Louis, of course, cares about him, so he's like, I'm sorry. All right, I reacted harshly. It's okay. We're okay. We'll figure this out. We can talk about it at the very least.
So Sophia is your mom?
He's trying to like.
Briella was my mom.
Just a little bit of disassociation.
Growing up, who showed me any kind of affection.
And this is exactly what I was hoping would happen, is that now we sit down and we have a conversation about it, and he opens up to him, tells him the truth, and then talks him through how they got to this point.
He stuck his fingers in me, also gave me $1.
Louis.
Oh no. Just all right. I get it. Trying to empathize on a certain level, maybe even make light of it or like offer his 2 cents. And he's like, Louis, I'm opening up right now. You wanted me to talk about this. I'm talking about it. Don't push the situation, please.
She was dying.
Hours from it.
Okay, I hear that. So never before.
And you might not do this. Oh, well, there was before for sure, but you wouldn't like. I was about to say, would Louis not have done the same for his mother? I mean, if they hadn't grown apart the way they had, it makes one wonder if Louis had remained close with his family. And well, I don't know, because like Lestat didn't like his like the overarching family of cabbages, of the cabbages. Like it wasn't a healthy one or a good one, but him and his mother were close, which that's what I'm saying, is it begs the question, like if Louis had been close with like his mother or his sister, for example, after the turning, if that meant like when it came down to the bottom of the ninth in one of their lives, would he have done the same for like a member of his family if they hadn't disowned him?
I conduct the chaos. She's one of the many chainsaws I juggle.
Decent line. One of the many chainsaws I juggle. Yeah, dangerous life he lives.
Climb. Vamp or not.
And Louis kind of meeting him on that level then psychologically or emotionally, trying to... See, I like how Louis is trying to now be open, understanding. It was a visceral reaction at first, but he's like, okay, I can see how emotional this is for you. Fair point, calling out the hypocrisy of what I was doing with Regina. So I'm gonna hear you out now. So I give him props there. Although it took a few minutes to get there, but we got there.
Can you?
The skeleton at the bar. I see. To make the beer at least a bit more palatable. So the effects of the alcohol combined with at least some type of like some sweetener, some aspartame. I like it's like salt on the rim, but blood instead. You still taste good. Like a little of pineapple, but also hickory. Or what was it? It tasted like what was it again? It was something that tasted like vermouth and annihilation.
In the video, Daniel was in the daylight.
Yes.
The suntan.
Mm-hmm. I noticed it.
Can you just check to see if it's everywhere?
I'm sure it's spread.
Matters to you?
Maybe.
Consider it.
I am my own zip code of mess right now.
My own zip code of mess.
Of how I just was.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
See, even Louis, to an extent, I mean, it took him being called out for him to like see it. And sometimes Louis has a habit of he'll lash out or he'll act or he'll do certain actions or things, and then in the moment he feels justified or he'll like vindicate himself. And then in his past, it takes time for him, like time will go on, and then he'll feel guilt, and he'll realize the weight and severity of his actions or his words and what he said or done. And Louis' habit over the course of this show, regardless of the odyssey of recollection or the very specific details and nature of the stories that are being told and unfolding, that's his pattern, is that he'll do the thing, he'll say the thing, he'll feel justified in the moment, and then with the passage of time and recollection, oftentimes in isolation or in the company of people that's not the true company he wants to have around him, he'll come around to realizing like, oh, maybe what I did wasn't great, maybe what I said wasn't great, maybe my actions actually were made in the heat of the moment or out of spite or out of, improper emotional regulation, right? And he's like trying to come around, like this is like improvement for him. Like first we saw, like, because we'll see it, he'll come to like New Orleans at the end of season 2 and he'll come with an apology, hat in hand, and say, hey, I never expressed appreciation for the gift you gave me. I'm sorry about how everything went down over all those years. I realize the error of my ways in a lot of respects, and I want to make amends here. And then even after the book and all this, it's like time will go by and Louis will come around and be like, I'm sorry. I might have behaved a certain way, but he'll get caught up in the moment usually. Now, this is progression insofar as he had a harsh reaction there, and what normally might have taken years again for him to realize, hey, perhaps I was a bit too harsh. I've been racked with guilt for a while. I want to come back hat in hand once more. Now, instead, it's like, okay, well, Lestat, like, tried to explain his side of the situation. Lestat called him out for his own hypocrisy, and Louis, in probably like record time, showing like actual development here, is like, you know what? You're right. I reacted harshly just now, only minutes ago. I'm sorry. This is a lot for me to wrap my head around. This is a lot. It's a bombshell. You still like technically lied by omission, but I get what you're saying. Let's go somewhere, just you and I. Let's talk through it. And now it's him even being like, I'm sorry for how I reacted. It was a bit harsh. I have my own messes, like you pointed out. I can recognize that. I can speak. I can put words to it. I can speak it to truth. I still need to work on myself some more. But what you're calling me out for is an issue that I'm working on right now. And the same way with Lestat. He's opening up about like him and his mother, how that's all like transpired and gone about, and he's like, yeah, like both of them are at least in a better headspace of like trying to become better people, not becoming what the blood within us is. Overall self-improvement, but also like trying to not be such emotional creatures, for lack of a better term. So this is a sign of character development. That's one thing for me as a Louis over Lestat what's the word I'm looking for here? Fan person. I in the first 2 seasons, I normally find myself in Louis' camp in most matters, and then now that more truths are revealed and that I'm seeing the other side, like other sides of him, and there's more to his character than what he allowed to be displayed and would let on and divulge. Like, he's definitely his own share of fucked up and definitely not perfect, and I like to think that I've called him out for his actions as of late, but I don't know. This season is doing what I was hoping it would do, which was to make me like Lestat more and sympathize more with his character. In some respects, I've even empathized with his character, and I'm at a point now where it's like the whole conceit of the show, where they're imperfect. They can do monstrous things, but I don't believe that they are monsters inherently. And I still like Louis, but I still can acknowledge his hypocrisy and his dark, violent nature. And it's even modern Louis, like kind of the fucked up things that he'll do, or the practices that he shouldn't engage in that he still is engaging in regardless. So, but this is progression for both of them.
We should cancel.
We should probably cancel.
Oh, like the seance or whatever's going on? But will we? Maybe we could use that closure right now. Could be a bonding experience. Huh? Or what?
Give me a cup of tea while you was out.
Please make yourself at home. Louis de Pointulac, the witch Merrick.
The witch Merrick. Now, I'm curious. Somebody fill me in. Is she from Mayfair Witches or something like that? Also, I'm going to do the quickest of Google image searches for that art piece in the corner. They're all a bunch of humans, I presume, feasting on a moose before it's even been like skinned and prepared. This image displays a scene from a documentary. Okay, so the image in the background displays a scene from the documentary Still Max, featuring artist Max Dean's creative project. The film explores resilience and creativity through art following a cancer diagnosis. It highlights Dean's obsession with repairing discarded animatronic figures, from a decommissioned amusement park. One featured work is a staging of an operation of a moose, inspired by Thomas Egan's 1875 painting, The Gross Clinic. The documentary was directed by Catherine Knight and released in 2021. Still Max? Is that what it's called? Even though I have cancer, I am still Max. Not Max Steel. An acclaimed Canadian documentary that it makes sense that they're in Montreal, so yeah, they'd have exposure to that. An acclaimed Canadian documentary that follows multidisciplinary artist Max Dean as he uses art to process and confront his diagnosis of prostate cancer. Interesting. It's on Mubi, though. Well, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to watching it. It was highly regarded upon its release and can be found on digital platforms like Google Play or Mubi. If you meant 2015's Max Steel, no, I did not. Interesting. How was it received? Or at least IMDb score anyway. Hour 19 on the shorter side here. Little niche it seems. How do we fix ourselves? Hence the surgery on the animatronic moose. Discarded animatronic figures from a decommissioned Ontario Place attraction and wild imagination drive this vivid journey of resilience and creativity in the face of illness. Oh. There's an official website. Still Max. 74 minutes. Top 10 audience choice 2021. Artist Max Dean's desire to document his journey with prostate cancer through his art takes on new meaning after his partner, Martha Fleury, is diagnosed with aggressive ovarian cancer, and COVID-19 escalates into a world pandemic. One man's investigation into the emotional impact of prostate cancer illuminates the core vulnerabilities of being human. So he literally has a still from a documentary. And I like that idea, because I always refer to some pieces of like media and film and TV. Like there's really good ones out there where I feel like every frame could be a painting in itself. But I like the idea where this documentary was so intriguing to him, and he liked it so much that he literally took a still from the documentary and then like a very high resolution one looks like, and then or a recreation of it at least, and put that in his home. Now we're going to commune with the dead, and I'm going to cry some more. Is that what's going to happen? I assume they're going to be communing with the dead anyhow.
There's the Dulac boys. Walked past her porch. Head so high.
Oh.
Know their money came from flesh.
That would have been my brother, Paul Dulac.
He had that great mama. There was the other one.
Huh. You brought your grandmother's skull, her skull with you? I'm sure you still talk to her, though. Yeah, here's one thing, a little factoid about me is that I don't f with any of this, by the way. I may be an atheist. I may be a man who, as far as my belief system goes, I don't believe in the spiritual realm or like theology or anything like that. I believe in like humans and what we've tried to figure out and the mysteries of the universe. I do acknowledge though that anything's possible, and even though I don't believe in it per se, part of me believes enough in like and to exercise caution. Like one thing you're not going to see me fuck around with is either a Ouija board or in this case like hoodoo, voodoo, any of that. Like, look, I may not believe, but I believe enough to like, I'm not gonna, I know to stay in my lane is what I know. And I'm not gonna, even just like the idea of it, whether there's any weight it carries, some scary shit. So I'm good.
Feet's outside the line.
Whoops. We're rocking the Converse.
All spirits can be unruly.
This could be a bonding experience though.
A burn girl, a motherless monster.
The implication, I believe, was giving Claudia the gift. You implied it.
Personal items.
Let's move past that. Oh my god, are we gonna have a... I'm gonna talk to Claudia. The true Claudia. And I just realized the journal that Regina was making, by the way, is an almost exact replica of the very one that is the actual journal. Oh my god, unless he gave her Claudia's actual journal to make notes in, which is kind of like defiling it in my mind. That's the even worse implication there, is that Regina was writing in the actual journal. Don't enter the circle.
Hide in this.
Oof. Skinny.
So distressed.
You can feel that?
These got it. I can call with these objects.
Oh boy. This is going to be a rough watch, isn't it? How's it going to go? Is it going to work? And then what are you going to say? Will this be actual closure? And the fact that, here's the question though, like if this does work and she's able to like properly speak the way that like she is and all that, are we going to imply that there's a realm of spirits and she's watched them and their lives as they progressed past this point? Will she be happy to see them both together again? Will she still be mad? Caught in a storm of romance, you two? Like, how's it going to go? I don't know. This could be very nice and sweet, or it could be bittersweet, and I don't know if death gave her peace, but...
You two together bringing a jinx. Blocking the gate.
We're coming together, forming a barrier here. A jinx. Too strong right now.
Merry angels, Papa Lake.
Plus, they're not really fully united on this idea. They're kind of still split on it. It's like should we do this? We're going to go through with it. We should probably cancel. Should we? Shouldn't we? Well, all these months we set this up. She's already flown in, you know?
I give you my blood.
Bring me to the spirit called.
Damn.
On the spirit Claudia called by the living.
Watch your feet.
On my dead mother, bring her to me.
All this focus on his feet makes me worried he's gonna interrupt the ritual by mistake.
The f you yanking on me, you dumb.
Oh, well, there she is. There she is.
What? Was that her?
Damn. Nope. Yeah, that's Claudia. She said, "What the f you yanking on me, you dumb bitch?" Knocked out a tooth? No, just like blooded up her face a little. Oh, Lord.
Going up, going down.
Get her back.
Oh, Lestat's excited about that.
To the envelope.
That's her.
Find me a high-presenting dinner.
Oh, it did knock out a tooth. Gonna cost you more, but Lestat was enticed though. He was like, "That's her. That's my girl."
Bit of quiet.
You back with him?
Oh, I knew it. Oh, I knew it. Oh, shit. Oh, the way that she died. Hopefully she's not burnt up at least.
Said I looked splendid in it. Yeah, that's what I want to be. Car fuel for your self-pity.
So I wanted to join you.
I know.
Oh, yeah, no sympathy here.
Ripping your shirt off like you a dirty movie.
She been watching.
I didn't call you dumb. I'd have tripped Armand on the stairs if I wanted you with me.
Damn.
Truth. For you sad boy.
Talking about San Francisco there, yeah.
You weren't even my favorite.
Damn.
Liked him better.
Huh.
He knew who he was.
Damn.
I even thought about poisoning you instead of him.
God damn.
You know I didn't?
This what you wanted, Louis?
Till I could ditch your ass for something more worthy of me.
What about the thing you should be thanking me for?
Oh, here we go. Now Louis. Classic Louis. Oh, shit.
Read my little girl diary pages 7 decades late.
Oh, this is all the upset people in the comments, too, that are like, shouldn't have read it.
Prophets, reading my diary like it happened to you.
Damn.
I hate you to the pit of all things.
Claudia.
Burn the diary! Stop saying my name! And you, Uncle Ed.
Out of the circle.
Lestat said he'd do worse than rape me, Daddy Lou.
Dude, even her talking about unreliable narrator, she ginned up the story. She... Oh my god, this show has fucked me up in so many ways, and now it added the list of like how to give me massive trust issues. Like can I take any story? What part of the story? What really happened? What's the truth? Where do the lies end and the It was her, not Louis.
We're good, didn't it?
Damn.
How long you rehearsed my death, Antoinette?
Look at him. He's like entranced by like her ability and what she's done and the spite, and like there's like almost a level of like pride in this. Like that is blood of my blood. This is somebody who is of me. Like look at that face right there.
Only I wouldn't have saved his ass and waited for a hug in the hurricane. What about Madeline? You two hug it out for her too? Close the gate.
Oh, I'm a mess. So sorry. Oh, well, there's a lot to unpack there, isn't there? Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Damn. I was wondering. I knew. Part of me was like, oh, the idea could be so sweet. Could be closure. And then I had the oh god, sorry. I should have brought Kleenex. The lens of realism to it. I was like, I don't think she's gonna be very happy. She's gonna see them, and the first thing she's gonna think of is like, you two motherfuckers back together after all this, huh? Still stormy romance of you two, but dude, that and then some. I hate you more than I've hated anybody else in my life, even more than Bruce and the people that killed me. I hate you, and you, Lestat. Like just the. Yes, bring your malice. Yes. Like, oof. And then the poor thing, he's like, can you bring Madeline back? Because that broke my heart. Where she's like, the one good thing in my bleak fucking existence and the darkness of my life, and I've been looking for her all this time in death, and I can't find her anywhere. I don't even get to have her in the afterlife. The tragedy of Claudia. Like, oh, Jesus. Well, I might as well write that down, huh? Shit, now that's the Claudia we all know. That's Claudia. God. They bring her, well, back insofar as, and she rips into them, as would be understandable. But I like how it also shows that, like, because people have condemned Claudia as well in conversations, because I'm very quick to, I was always quick to defend her because I always saw her as a victim of her circumstances. But then she then instead of becoming better, she then like fully embraced the predatory nature of being a vampire, and so people would often call, like, whenever I would defend her, they're like, oh, I literally have had people in the comments that are like, another Claudia defender, another defender of this genocidal little kid who took pride in killing her victims and kept her souvenirs and artifacts and all this. It's like, yeah, I'm not saying she's a fucking angel, she's not perfect, but like, I still had like sympathy for her for sure. But that also kind of confirms that, like, it's crazy how she even like embellished parts of the story. Like, so she wasn't a huge fan of either of them, although she said, who out of the two of you, he was my favorite. He at least was honest about who he was. But then the picture that Louis painted, it would have been too painful for him to acknowledge what he probably kind of knew already. And so when he was like recounting it all, kind of putting it more as like Claudia hating Lestat and not like being ashamed of him as the maker, and like a lot of responsibilities there. But yeah, it really does. This would be, I mean, I feel like if I were to rewatch the first two seasons, and even, I mean, I'm gonna rewatch this one for sure, but I feel like if I were to rewatch again for the third time the first two seasons, that, I mean, I don't know how much more I'd be able to offer, but I would be looking at everything, I mean, with a completely different lens instead of eyes, knowing what's been over embellished, what has been, how like nothing is sacred, everything is just like, basically, the conceit of Interview with the Vampire at the end of the day is that every single character involved in it has their own agenda. They feel wronged in their own way. They have their own emotional stake and twist and spin on things, to a point where literally, the core moments of what occur in the story, I think, are pretty much what happened, more or less. But in terms of everybody's recollection and their own odysseys, or the stories they tell, or what they choose to share, or how they spin it, everybody kind of has their own version of things, or their own truths that were twisted, or webs that were spun, or emotional vested interests that kind of shaped how the narrative then is distributed and comes to being overall. Sorry, I don't want to be too gross, but I don't want to stop recording to clean myself up, so forgive me, but we've all been there. But wow, god damn, that was oof. It was already powerful. It was already, dude, this has got me choked up the most so far. There was already the moment where, like, Lestat was having his like panic attack on the street, and then the idea of bringing her back, and already kind of had some emotion, and I was already emotional seeing her brought back. But even just thinking about it now again, just the bit with the bit with Madeline shadowed me there at the end. Oh, jeez. And like, she's not innocent, granted, but like, I've cried for all these characters. Like, that's the thing, is that none of them are innocent. They've all done, like, questionable, like, things of questionable morality, some despicable, terrible things to each other, to themselves, to other people, but each one of them at the same time has their own pain that you can't help but empathize with. Again, very similar to like Succession in that sense, where it's like a group of characters that by all accounts perhaps like we shouldn't have full empathy for or sympathy for, and yet we do regardless. As we walk home in silence. I mean, in a way, that's closure. Maybe it's best that, like, instead of mourning and sulking, and like, maybe we can realize that she was the child that you guys made, essentially, to be the band-aid for the relationship, and it didn't work out, and instead you just ended up both kind of causing her pain in your own ways, some maybe worse than others. And maybe as much as it hurts and stings, I mean, there's truth in a lot of what she's saying, so maybe this is what you can use to then, better for worse, it's closure. Maybe now we can move on from it together and realize the error of our ways, and realize what we've done, and just accept that, and be better people, hopefully, and move forward from here. And of course, wonderful job by Delaney, as always.
Pretty much closes the door on that.
She spared us the ambiguity.
Yeah. No two ways about it.
What about the thing you should thank me for?
I didn't know that was in me. Got some work to do on myself.
Yeah.
Something one did in the late 18th century work on the self.
Very true.
What did one do?
I like how he, again, this is showing growth though. If for better or for worse, it's showing growth where he's like, in that moment, once again, Louis, like, that's just, Louis can be Louis sometimes, Lestat can be Lestat, etc., etc. But he's like, that thing I said, like, the thing I said, and Lestat's like, oh, I know what you said. Yeah, that thing you said. He's like, I don't even know that was within me. I'm not even sure why I said it. It was just like defensive. It was a reflex. It's like, I should work on that. Like,
Sat on benches.
Share troubles.
oh. The old bench, huh? Same as it ever was. Distant violin, huh?
No Madeline. No rest.
No, still suffering.
Sophia, Gabriella thing. I don't know.
I brought her on the bus.
Not really thinking long term.
In our room in New Orleans. Excellent point in the heat of the fracas, by the way.
Thank you.
I had her portrait in there. That's great. Excellent point made in the heat of the fracas. in the heat of the, I like that. I like the little bits in the writing right there where it's like I hand her portrait over there. Honestly, in the heat of the moment, good point made by you, though it was kind of fucked up.
Clearly, somewhere in the self-destructive scaffolding I house my heart in, I wanted it known.
Ooh, the self-destructive scaffolding.
History to myself is why I wanted it now, the night before I go on stage, the hour before the witch arrives.
Lay all the cards on the table. Lay it all out before these big things happen. Like, just get it out there. Let the grave shall out the truth. That kind of deal, perhaps. But I absolutely adore these moments of introspection here, and not only the introspection, like genuine introspection, emotional maturity, and intelligence here, but also the conversation, like between the two of them, like these two genuinely, like, you know, no he said she said interview, third party find out, like, hey, we faced our demons together, quite literally in this case, and now we're gonna, like, we're talking through. We're just like, instead of being upset and mad and lashing out and walking away, like, let's we're curiosity now. Let's, like, ask each other, why did you do this? Why did you do that? Why do you feel this way? Oh, I think and then being honest with himself, where it's like, oh, I'm not sure. I don't know. I never thought too far ahead on this. You're right. What I did there was messed up. Like, I'm thinking about this, about why I'm the way that I am. Like, this is like actual, I love this conversation.
Why do I actively, manically pursue failure?
Because you believe you are a failure? You believe you're a monster who deserves it?
What do you replace death with? What's to live for if there's no end?
I forget who first said it, but there's a quote where it's like, I might be paraphrasing, but I believe it was, we so often are the authors of our own misery. That's very much the case, especially with these these poor tortured souls.
I have some work to do on myself.
I think you both do.
You opened a restaurant 3 blocks from my house because...
It's gotta feel nice being honest with each other finally, like a weight off the chest, surely.
A trailer park. Utah, the desert.
Couple of nomads, huh?
Plant some flower boxes. What blooms at night?
Away from the hustle and bustle.
They got birds in the desert?
Birds everywhere.
Could be nice.
I was just about to say, could be nice. Why do I feel like we're not going to get our little Hollywood romantic ending here? I'm still very worried. Perfect for each other in a kind of way. I'm still very worried.
Thrift store Dracula peeping.
Uh-oh. That Alex?
Alex.
Uh-oh. Well, oh, why was I worried? Here we go. What, Armand gonna roll up now? Here we go. Here we go. Well, Well, they can't be dead though. Like, I mean, clearly they're not. That was so sudden. Regardless, it was an assassination attempt. Interesting. What? Oh my God! It was fucking Daniel and Armand. Jesus Christ! I thought, okay, I got really worried for a second. Because I thought that. That's the penultimate episode, dude. I thought it was only going to be Lestat, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is how it happens." Could be nice, slight, like, because we know based on well, for one, we know that like the head can survive from the body for like there was that bit of lore was dropped earlier in the. So the only reason I'm not like super upset about this is because we had the lore that was dropped way earlier in the season that was saying that especially for stronger vampires, ancient, like older ones, and they're both fairly old, the head can survive from the body for like an extended period of time, right? So it's not, if somebody can like save them, then it's not impossible. And I mean, if it was just Lestat, then I'd be more concerned and be like, oh my God, that's how his story ends, which would be crazy. But we know for a fact that Louis, at the very least, like we know Louis ends up at the auction for the failures, and we know that Lestat records the failures. So I mean, it's very sudden and it's good for like shock value and just like, oh my God, what the fuck kind of moment. But at the same time, we know that it kind of lacks the punch, because we know that they clearly, like, they survive, like they have to, like, timeline wise. So, but attempted assassination or just something to kind of like stop them momentarily. That's a crazy moment right there, dude. The fact that both of them snuck up on them and just decapitate. It's crazy. Devil's minion, huh? That's what that all is. My new beau, my relationship. We try to kill them and then we stop the conversion and live happily ever after. So sudden. Oh boy. Well, now it's war. And they don't even know who it was. They just saw Alex, and then I guess, yeah, Alex. I'm trying to figure out how Armand would have shaped the narrative, and my guess is it was something to the tune of Larry did this because of the pressure like Lestat put on him, and so Alex would then blame Lestat, and by extension Lestat and Louis, for his brother's death perhaps, and that's how Armand would be able to manipulate Larry pretty easily. Question is then, where are TC and Salamander? Maybe maybe they end up saving the day, but yeah, that would have had a lot more. That would have had a lot more weight if it was just Lestat as the one who got like yoinked. Especially if that's how they like ended the story. Like that was still like really good. That was an excellent episode and still very impactful. But because of what I know eventually transpires in the show, then it seems to kind of take the punch out of the even the possibility of, oh, are they just fucking dead now? But yeah, pretty crazy. That's how they end it right there. Yo, the vampire list. Is there a sneak peek? Oh, it's far from over. Oh. I'll watch a little preview. Oh, heads in bowling bags. My head is rolling around. Uh-oh. A preview of what's to come. Bowling splash. We finally get this. We finally see the witch burning as well. The story is far from over. The timer indicating how long the heads can survive while detached. So what's the plan then? They swap the heads out. No. Interesting. Plus, we have to have at least one more season, so how are they going to all wrap it up, huh? How long is the final episode going to be, I wonder? Let's see the behind the scenes.
Cancel the dinner.
Not the dinner.
Jesus, what an emotionally turbulent episode, though.
Around the table, thinking that you...
It was nice, but things were going too well.
Louis absolutely correct. It's a horrible idea. Why do they do it?
Closure.
Louis and Lestat, they're messy. Turn away from the messiest option.
Of course not.
Is different. She is not like the rest. And
Sure.
Was like, I'll give you one piece of advice. He's like, don't f with voodoo.
That's what I said. Yep.
Distance from it.
We're same wavelength right there. I might not believe in it, but I'm not gonna mess around with it. I got enough sense to know to like I said, stay in my lane.
Let's be clear. I have respect, but I'm not getting involved.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you, dude.
When I first
Aw.
is amazing and about time.
Yeah, very nice. Very well done.
Get it all off her chest
Yeah.
and give it to the two men she hates the most. Hates but loves the most.
Hates but loves.
We're all a bit starstruck, actually, because I was like, oh my god, Claudia's here.
Yeah, which makes the scene even more effective as she just rips into them. Absolutely. Just the return, like feeling that as the character, but even as the actor.
And I was happy with them.
It was done excellently.
Yeah, it was like a whole new level of anger.
She tapped into that shit.
Life!
Don't make me cry again.
Watching Delaney, and we were like, this is amazing.
Yeah, too good, too good.
Very sad. I thought I was going to defensive for Louis and for Lestat, but we deserved what we got.
Yeah.
One instance where they actually dealt with the problem.
Yeah.
And for not putting her first. And she's suffering in hell.
Yeah. I like how with like the chaos, everything going on around them, like the whole world is shaking essentially, at this apartment anyway. Things are flying and whatnot, and they're just like still locked and struck. The world around could end at that moment, it wouldn't matter. They're just like listening, observing, just like at the mercy. As once again the dress then falls to the ground, again evoking the exact same thing happening at the end of the trial, you know? Sheesh. Breaking down brutal love.
Gabriella is one of my all-star favorite characters.
No, an interview character he likes. I'm kidding. I'm playing around. It's fine.
I was starstruck working with Jake.
Aww.
Did feel, oh my god, you're Louis.
It's always so fun to me when like these actors that are like really good at what they do, right? They can play someone that I can like dislike or can be or do vile and despicable things, and then they're just the sweetest person outside of the character. They're like, oh, I had such a fun time doing this. Like,
I think Gabriella's threatened by Louis.
Oh, 100%.
So jealous as a lover. Lestat's fletchlings. I mean, there are not many of us.
1,000 of us out in the woods together.
They're gonna perform out in the woods?
I think he should sing tomorrow.
Doesn't matter what I think.
Will he be put back together to sing? Because I'm sure that's what Armand's trying to prevent. Is the show, of course. Although Armand thinks if he quite literally cuts the head off the snake, that the body will simply die and wither. But wouldn't that also turn him into a bit of a martyr in any case? But like, yeah, even if he did like destroy Lestat in that sense, and like the concert couldn't go on as planned, like I feel like, yeah, the majority of vampires that want to make more and have the like still have the great conversion, like I don't think that would like dissipate. I think wouldn't that further galvanize them together, like towards their goal. Like people, they would see that someone's he would become a martyr, like someone's actively trying to stop us from conversion. Gabriella herself would still be trying to like get it going, and she might not be the same kind of like prophetic, like almost like borderline religious figure that Lestat would be, but I mean, I feel like it would still go on, because I mean it's happening, you know, like I feel like it would happen with or without him. He would just like help make the movement stronger. 3.5 they said. 3.5 they said. Want it all.
Like, not really sure who's he singing it to. Is he singing it to Gabrielle?
I had a feeling. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, to Louis. I think Gabrielle's like
the most important person in the room, and
then
suddenly she isn't.
Uh-oh. How does it feel? How does it feel, Gabriella? Gabriella. Can't feel good. Not possibly. What a great season. Even my little gripes here and there, still what a great season. Oh, then Daniel. Armand corrupting one more thing in this world that I love. The gremlin. And don't get me wrong, I still like the character of Armand. Like I like all the characters in one way or another. I think the only character that I don't like is, I don't know, someone like Bruce, but only because, you know, like you know, the motherfucker, like a monster over here. But
one has to ask, what is with the tan, Dan? Tan of whatever you want, sweetheart.
They continue to bully him in the way that... And I think that dynamic is less apparent to them than it is to him.
How unfortunately poetic.
There's no sense, unless I'm crazy, that you can see it coming.
Yeah, no. All right, could I have predicted that exact specific set of circumstances? No, but I I don't want to say the show is formulaic, but I was saying it the whole entire episode. I'm like, this is this is the Parisian cafe all over again. This is the whole, and it's a trope in media as well. Like, you know, when you're watching the TV show or the movie and it's like, you know what, after this is all over, I think you and I, we could finally make it work together, you and I. I think we put aside the things that divided us and we can come together and be together and have a happily ever after ending. Whenever people start talking like that in any movie, I'm like, oh, dude, one of you is going to die. Like 100%. Like, and in this case, I was more like, things were too nice. Things were like, it was working too well. And I'm like, even the show has done that, like the ebb and flow, the valley and the peaks in the valley, you know, like it's the show has done it to me before. And the Paris Cafe is what I really didn't see coming, because then it happened and I was like, oh fuck. And like this one, I like, especially to the end here, I'm like, no, they're out here on the park benches alone. We're building to something. And then sure enough, yeah, thrift store Dracula's peeping. I was like, well, the other shoe's about to drop. I knew it was coming. Now, did I know specifically they were going to both be like I didn't see coming. And I think that I would have been way more affected if it was just Lestat. But the fact that it was, well, even then, like, I think that when I started thinking about it, as shocking as it was and how sudden it was, and I was like, oh, geez, like, all right, wow. I was still like, well, they're not, like, dead, though, because things have yet come to pass. Or rather, have not yet come to pass.
6?
Yeah.
We've got a whole episode left?
Uh-huh.
From the very beginning, that Lestat's gonna lose his head. That's really shocking.
Damn. Our little gremlin, huh? Our little gremlin. Oh, and see, now in retrospect, how fucked up is it that it is that bench that is the thumbnail? Damn. One episode to go. We've gone to Detroit, Toledo, Toronto, the Devil's Road, New York, Montreal, and now wherever the finale is gonna have us land in, huh? Okay, I'm here for it. I don't know. I'm curious because, yeah, they had the timer and they had their heads in bowling bags, or whoever did, Alex did or something. I mean, they're gonna be reassembled one way or another. They have to be for certain elements of the story to progress, but I feel like the episode is gonna either lead up to the show about to happen, or it's going to be the show. Or, you know, the great conversion is about to happen, or Lestat's gonna, like, about to be waking up Akasha. And yeah, we're gonna leave it open for, like, oh, the other part of Vampire Lestat is now going to transpire in season 4, basically, in another couple years or so. Though I'm sure they're already writing it, or I probably haven't started filming yet. But I mean, I would be shocked if they didn't, like, green light a season 4. AMC can't be, the executives there can't be that stupid about it, you know. Damn, what a turbulent episode. Yeah, okay, well, the good thing about yapping during it. So how much yapping did I end up doing then? I'm curious. 2 episodes, 3, okay, a little over 3 hours, just about 3 hours worth. So, I'm still a lot, but I like to think that this time it wasn't me pausing every few seconds to ask questions that are immediately answered, but it was more me pausing, still often, but to have long conversations that either relate directly or are still tangentially related. So I feel good about what we did here today. So, all right. Well, as always, I'm gonna have to clean myself up now. Thank you guys and gals so much for watching. That was another episode of La Vampire Lestat de Liancourt. Thank you. If you're watching on Patreon, thank you for the additional layer of love and support. It means the absolute world to me. If you have not joined but have been thinking about doing so, now is always a good time. You'll get early access to these episodes about a day or two. In this case, it will be admittedly several days in advance because I have to wait another 2 or 3 for my to get this to my editor, since they're taking a little bit of a break. So it'll be a little bit late getting to YouTube, but Patreon will hit first. Full, uncut, uncensored reaction, HD video accompaniment, plus access, of course, to my entire content backlog and library, which includes all previous series that I've done, the first 2 seasons of Interview with the Vampire, of course, all other series reactions, analysis, couples commentary, Patreon exclusives, on the higher tier, access to my live movie watch party, which becomes a movie commentary VOD afterwards. But of course, if you're just on YouTube, it's more than enough. I appreciate it. All I ask is you like the video, comment down below for the almighty algorithm and engagement gods, and subscribe for more, please do. In the meantime, that is sadly all the time we have today for the Vampire Lestat. I wanted to do a video in between where I would do a I would like go through comments and engagement, but I've been people are begging me not to avoid spoilers or any type of like anything really that could like spoil the good time. So I think I'm going to err on the side of caution. I think what I shall do instead is I do want to do a reaction video to the Thirst tweet video, and because it's been requested so many times, I do want to do a reaction or two to some of Autumn Brown's contents in terms of interviews she's done recently, whether with the band or with the scalpels of the show. It's been asked, so I want to like promote her content. I've heard she does a great job, but also I just yeah, it's been requested, so I think that I've been meaning to watch her content for a while, and it's been recommended, so gonna put my money where my mouth is in this case. So look forward to that. But in the meantime, thank you all as always for love and support, even in the disastrous wake of the last episode and the tech issues I've had here and there. This seems like it all came together much smoother, or knock on wood that it all came together much smoother. So here's hoping I can continue to deliver good quality content and that this was a solid reaction for you. But as always, feel free to cut on in if I missed anything, if I misunderstood or misconstrued any facts. Please do not hesitate to get in there and we'll have the conversation. Let me know if you agree or disagree with any of my analysis or any of my takes, and yeah, just keep the conversation going. Thank you to my kind of quasi semi moderators who have been keeping an eye out for spoilers and such over the course of this show. I do appreciate your efforts. They do not go unnoticed, so thank you. And yeah, I gotta stop yapping right now. So merci mon ami, merci merci mes amis, merci mon gars. Thank you for the love and support. This has been your Bright Interact with a Point of View. I want you to love me enough to subscribe to me. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to go start bumping some of these songs in my Spotify and praying for a vinyl to be announced. Have a good day. Have a good night. Bon chance, and au revoir, travelers.